Listen to this. Bad boy. Time.
Good morning. in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESL. ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESL.
Hey guys, how are you? Welcome towards Matchday number 17 of the ESL NA Pro League. I said AU for a moment.
We do have an Australian team, so...
it is going to be one Australian team, but it is the NA Pro League.
Australian Pro League?
They are in North America, so...
It's true.
We are here in Australia, of course, but the action is all going to be there in NA. And Brainstorm, how are you today?
Look, doing all right. It's been a long week.
You look like you've had a rough week so far.
Well, look, it's currently, just after 11 a.m. in the morning. Finished casting last night at 1:30 for Zen League, so doing good.
Esports Dream. Well, speaking of Esports Dream, both of these teams going to be competing, NRG as well as Renegades on our side today. Going to be looking to take some more points to try to secure their place for the finals.
Which is, of course, the dream. It's where they want to be, getting into those LAN finals. Renegades have made a bit of a comeback recently. They were down 0-6, they're now 5-6, but over on the side of NRG, they haven't really had that issue, I believe. They're currently sitting at 9-3, so they're doing much better.
Yeah, I think going 3 1-for-1s as we take a look at the standings. Sitting in 4th place quite comfortably at the moment. If they take the 2 victories today, they'll be joining themselves alongside Cloud9 Team Liquid. Definitely worthy opposition to be sitting yourself, I guess, near the top of the leaderboard. SK actually dropping 1 map, which is...
Against Optic yesterday, 16-14 on Train.
Which, obviously, with Optic, I think Jason I was a stand-in, so it looks like he was able to bring in a couple of changes, able to eke out the tiny advantage to take a map against SK. But Renegades, they were sitting, even though sitting 10th at the moment, I feel like this is a little bit more of a poor reflection on their ability, as opposed towards how they're actually playing. Because looking at how they're sitting 5-6, a lot of the people might go, okay, Renegades did have a bit of a rough start to the season. They did drop against Luminosity as well as Cloud9. But now they've also taken all these victories in a row consecutively over the last couple of matches, and now they're looking good to, take maybe... We always like to be on the safe side and just go, look, they're going to take a 1-1 apiece. But the way that they were going before the roster change, it almost seemed like they could take the 2-0 against NRG.
It's worth noting, though, that's... Before that roster change, that was a substantial one. They've got 2 stand-ins now they're going to be trying to use. But either way, this is the games we have lined up for today. NRG versus Renegades, as we've said, 2 maps from them. We are going to have the final couple rounds of the Renegades Liquid game on Nuke from a couple days ago as well. But over on the mainstream, Rush versus Immortals coming up first, and a little bit later on, Complexity versus Selfless.
Complexity also trialing Slemmy as well, so if you're looking to see how Slemmy from Cloud9 is going to fit in towards Complexity, I mean, going from one team that starts at the C to another, we'll have to wait and see.
Sure.
I thought you were going to catch on towards wordplay there.
No, I wasn't.
No.
Mainly because I think he played for Selfless in the middle and they did not start with C.
I think today what we'll probably do is probably keep it easy on the puns for you. I think
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna break down.
Yeah, we'll keep it easy for Tim. But going back towards Renegades as well as NRG. Look, NRG 1-1 last week, and now a roster change for Renegades as well. What does this bode for all the viewers as well as for us?
It means that Renegades might have a little bit of a rough time because they've had one stand-in for the last little while. They've had Ada in place of Ricky, who went to CLG, and admittedly is playing quite well there, but they've now had Yam announce that he's coming back to Australia, doesn't want to be overseas anymore, so they've got Uber in, who's a Canadian player. I can't remember which teams he's played for previously, but I don't want to mention...
He's played in for a lot of teams, though.
Yeah, I don't want to mention any teams, I might be wrong, but...
I'm fairly sure Complexity is one of them that comes into mind, so... I think team lineups are ready. Or no, it's actually the finals for Dallas. I got that one wrong. So, well, if you guys want to make your way towards Dallas to check out the finals, go ahead and book your tickets at proleague.com/Dallas. And there'll be the top teams from both EU and NA competing for a 750k prize pool. So a lot of stake on the line.
That's a lot in dollar dues as well.
That's US dollars, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah,
as well,
so
which
if you
is,
translate it to dollar dues, that's even more.
just to Australian dollars as well. That's a lot of money. That's just barely enough to maybe buy a house in Sydney.
You could maybe rent one for like 2
just
weeks.
barely,
possibly.
actually. Thinking about it. Definitely not in the inner west.
No, definitely not.
All right, so now with Renegades, back towards NRG. Look, NRG have been playing well as a lineup for a while now. So in terms of their AWP, we know that Yam was the AWPer before after Ricky left. Now that Yam's left, it's going to leave Renegades in a bit of a lurch. They don't really have a primary AWPer to rely on.
Or an IGL.
Or an IGL. So it's going to be, I guess, intriguing to see how the dynamic comes through. They still have the core 3 playing through. On the side of NRG, you know, they did drop a train map against Immortals, which I don't think they should have. But
Potentially not, but
I felt like they shouldn't have because they were playing so well to get themselves in a really good stage, and then they dropped the ball on their own CT side where they just got consistently hammered. And it's up to people like Breezy as well as Peter to step up once again for NRG. They've been consistently the top performers for the league, whereas on the side of Renegades, you know, you're looking towards JKS mainly to do the work alongside with Stillo.
yeah, but that's the thing. I think Renegades are going to have to play a very, very puggy style at the moment because they're still trying to adapt to. They've had Ada for a little while. Uber's still a very recent addition, and they've lost both their AWPer and their IGL. So at the moment, they're a roster of basically rifles at this point. I don't really look at anyone on that roster and think, yeah, they could pick the AWP up. So
JKS AWP?
JKS AWP. That would be
JKS AWP,
interesting.
why not?
Why, exactly. Why not? You might as well. Of course, over on the NRG side of things, they've been playing very well so far in the Pro League, sitting in 4th. I have to think they're going to be able to take this one just based on roster consistency, based on how they've been playing. I think this one will go the way of NRG, but Renegades, as usual, they could surprise us. We always hope they do because they never seem to do anything but surprise, whether win or lose.
Well, Renegades did take the 16-5 against Liquid on Cobble, and Liquids are no slouches on Cobblestone as well. It's just that day when Renegades were playing absolutely on fire towards the T side. They came out charging, and they took a 12-3 lead from the T side, mainly on the backs of JKS's heroics and just clutches going in their favor. So if NRG, their key to shutting down Renegades, right, is not only Peter and Breezy firing up. Peter's just generally the consistent player that you expect. Breezy is a little bit hot and cold sometimes. When he's hot, it's just nothing gets in his way. But as soon as he gets cold, the rest of NRG just seem really lackluster alongside that. When, you know, with Marky, same with Marky as well. It just seems hot sometimes, you know, oh, this is really good stuff coming out, and then not much. Same with Dap as well. Like, they all have to kind of step up their game to kind of join the consistency. If you don't put in the 20 bombs, well, at the very least, you know, make sure you get the kills that you need to. Always just go for the 1-for-1.
It's worth noting, though, Daps is the IGL, so maybe he doesn't have to step up and frag as hard as he can, of course, coming out from that Optic lineup of a little while ago. If he can just do consistently, if he can be towards the middle of the pack, or even if he's not just anchoring too hard, as long as he can call well, and Daps is a decent IGL, so if he can just be doing his part, contributing to their strategy, and then getting the basic frags that he needs to get, as long as he's not outwardly missing all of his shots, he should be okay. But of course, when you have an IGL who doesn't frag as hard because they're contributing to those tactics, you do need the rest of your team to be able to step up and frag in their place.
Normally, I'd say that would be okay in the second map they're going on towards. So the maps that are going to be played today is Cobblestone, as well as I think Mirage is the second one. I would normally argue, okay, Mirage, that's a fair point. You can have an IGL that's not fragging it up, but on Cobblestone, where as a CT, not as much as on a T, right? Because you can kind of just go, hey, Breezy, just go ahead and kill everyone. Hey, Peter, just go ahead and kill everyone.
Last minute.
Yeah. On the CT side, where the defensive hold, where every single person is important, you can't allow it to happen. Yeah. He needs to, you can't just go, oh, he's an IGL, he doesn't need to frag. We saw that problem on Train where I think Daps on the entire CT half had about 2 kills, which eventually led to their loss, which is not trying to take away from their opponents playing well. It's also just signifying the fact that, hang on, as a CT side, if you can't, on these execution-based maps where map control is so crucial, if all the players suddenly go cold, you need to play consistently. You need to go 1-for-1. Yeah. And if you have players that don't go 1-for-1 apiece, and, well, 2 of the others do, you still lose. You still have 3 Ts available or alive at the end of the round. So they do need to step up, unfortunately. Yeah,
that's the basics of CT side, really. You need to just be able to sit there and think, all right, we're not playing well. If I can just get one guy before I die, I've done my job. You still got to be able to do that. That said, though, the maps have been pretty even so far. If we look at Cobble for both of these teams, Renegades are currently 1-2 on it. NRG are 2-1, but the losses that have come through, I mean, the win for Renegades that they've got was against Liquid on Cobble. The loss for NRG was against Liquid on Cobble. It was a 14-16, so a little bit of a closer one, but the Renegades haven't done too badly either. They did get 16-5 by Optic, which is not the greatest of scorelines, but went down to Luminosity in overtime on Cobblestone. So definitely not a map they're unfamiliar with here. And I think this one's going to be close, but I'm still going to favor NRG to take it out.
Yeah, I still favor. Oh, actually, no. It depends on who starts. If Renegades can start on the T side, you don't really need an AWPer to go well, as has just been given the Tech 9 alongside the body armor. Uber decides, yeah, you know, I'm the fill-in. I'm just going to drop the Tech 9 and potentially a smoke grenade as well, as they are wrapping straight towards that A site through drop. Still going to be leading the charge. Finds Daps immediately. Loses USB as well as his life. Breezy's pushed towards Slope, and JKS dueling it out as JKS does, but he loses his life as well. And Breezy's going to pick up 2 headshots, and the bomb's not even down. And this is just complete loss of control coming out from Renegades. Uber's just lurking towards drop, but he's just caught out of position. It's all to add it, hold it off.
Late.
And Marky, as well as Breezy, coming through to try to rip his head off. And
they can just defuse this bomb now. They don't even need to worry about him. They know that he's playing from behind them. They should. Yeah, they do have players on the bomb right now. So Uber, unfortunately for him, is completely out of this round. All Fugly has to do is hold him here. Bomb will be defused very shortly. There we go. The headshot comes through for Fugly anyway, but defuse comes in. Unfortunately for Uber, I like what he was going for with that flank, but he left it a little bit too late. Couldn't move quickly enough to help out his teammates. And off the back of that, NRG going to take for themselves the first round and get a force buyout.
the issue there was that Renegades, when they made the duel towards Slope, they had to take the kill in towards Breezy. As soon as they lost 2 members towards Breezy, it was all over. Especially with Marky pushing in from long A as well. Renegades had no control of the A site. If they managed to huddle all their members close towards maybe balcony instead of challenging Slope, they would have had a much better chance. You know, plant default, play close towards vent as well, because the Glocks are so much more potent in that position compared towards USPs, where you can actually get the instant damage headshot. Breezy does lose his life, a 1-for-1 trade, but this is just a basic pistol round coming out from Renegades.
Not even any armor to back it up, just P250s. The M4 has been recovered by Fugly, so a UMP traded for an M4 that's decent for him. Really, the M4 in that position, you don't want to be peeking so much that you get killed by pistols. Ideally, that's one where you just want to dance around the box, up and down the stairs, play your angles, and just get a lot more than 1 kill. But the gun's been recovered, so it's not too much of an issue. And the Renegades guys moving back over towards the A site, taking control of mid now. They've actually got a player. That's JKS moving all the way up through the stables. Has been spotted out now. There's a lot of grenades coming his way. The rotate is here. How's it coming in? Ski wants to go for the flank. Unfortunately for him, he'll have to pop this vent. He's going to be taken down by Marquis. Fugly drops the bomb and Atta. Uber and JKS left alone.
Yeah, and they have to contest with both the UMPs and the M4 at close distance. Not going to be able to do any more damage after the initial pick on towards Breezy, so Renegades were very close to jumping on towards the A site, but here comes a buy round. All AK-47s and NRG do have that very, very early AWP on towards Peter, which, you know, if he gets the ball rolling, is a very scary thought for Renegades.
It's a little bit scary, but if they can manage to shut it down, they've got a bit of utility, a couple flashes, a couple smokes. It's not much, but it's enough that they might be able to find an opening. Not when you do that, Yastillo stands up at just the wrong moment. Peter will get that shot, easy as you like, over the top of the smoke. There's nothing Renegades can even do to trade that. As you can see, JKS is there, wants to throw a flash and move into mid, but Peter's already out of there. He's all the way back up on the A side. He's been traded out with Daps playing close instead, so that's the danger of the AWP on Cobble. If it can get the early pick and then just run away immediately, you can be so mobile and so dangerous. And the Ts, unless they're incredibly, incredibly quick, there's nothing they can do to trade a pick like that.
Especially with lack of utility coming into the third round, where they got the bomb plant down, opted to go for P250s. It means that they can't buy Molotov they would have liked to, or maybe a couple of flashbangs, which does cost their map controllability. And you can see they had to go and challenge a line. Normally you throw more flashbangs, more HE grenades towards mid, but they didn't really have the ability to do so. And they don't have Molotovs either to clear out these close positions. Look where Daps is sitting. He's got Peter in support as well. Now the smokes have to come out from Renegades, but they have no flashbangs to back this up. They have to effectively go and dry. And you see Daps is going to get the first pick. He's going to get 2 just like that. And, well, they are rotating through long A, but there's an AWP waiting on Slope. They're going to allow them onto the site. They go, let's play the 5-on-2. Uber, though, does manage to take a great headshot on towards the AWP and Peter. But it should be all over for him.
Should be pretty much done, but Uber got a chance here. That's a nice one-tap. Gets dinked in return, though. Looking for some more here. The grenade comes in. His health falls lower and lower, and he will be dropped by the M4 of Fugly. Unfortunate position for Uber there. There's not really much he can do after getting that first kill, and he's the only one fragging for Renegades in that round. Gets himself 2, but not enough. AK's upgrade. Well, M4's upgraded to AKs for the CT side. The AWP kept. Breezy will be able to throw that back over to Peter, which he will do. More guns can come out here for the CT side, and Renegades, it's unfortunate for them. That's not how they wanted that first gun round to go.
Going to be forcing up towards Tech9's only adder without any body armor alongside with JKS. JKS, though, will be picking up the head armor as well as the Tech9 now. Only adder with the 2 flashbangs. Just potentially adder actually going to pick up the AWP next round. Just based on his buy. So otherwise, Renegades sneaking close towards B plant. There's a Molotov coming out from Breezy. He's going to hide in the new cubby. Rest of NRG just going to be rotating, stacking the members closer towards B site. They're aware of the danger potential, so they've got 2 outside of Flowers. There's still a first man down, but Breezy will punish him for that. Now pressure being placed on towards Breezy. Does fall, but Fugly's supporting him. It's all to JKS now. 1 of 3, picks himself up an M4, but it should be all over.
JKS has clutched these sorts of things before, but he does not have the bomb, and all the CTs are going to be on the B side. Unfortunately for him, there's nowhere for him to run. He has to commit this way, and Daps already wrapping in through drop. Looking for the frag, should catch out JKS as he runs away. We'll get the spray through. Thought that was going to be a wallbang, it was not, but the kill comes through either way. NRG go up 4-0, and Renegades, they can buy again, but they're going to need to put some rounds on the board pretty soon. They need to figure out a way to stop NRG's economy from running away.
Full utility this round. Renegades can play it a lot slower. They can kind of just go, all right, let's just slow the progression of play. Let's just take control of the map, do what we normally do. Renegades so far haven't tested the B site properly yet. That's why they're going to be stacking towards B site this time. And NRG going to put the AWP towards long A. It's up to JKS really to nullify any threat coming out from mid from the CTs.
Renegades right now need to find themselves a pick if they can. Moving over towards B again. I like how NRG are changing their positions up over here though. They've been changing their setup pretty much every single round. This time it's going to be Fugly up on top of the tree boost with the M4A1. Get some cheeky smoke spam going on as it taps out, marking and drop those. Chance here for these Ts to move in, but they've got to take it before the rotate comes through.
Yeah, this is a lot better from Renegades. You know, play slow control. You don't really need to contest multiple lines at the same time. Just try to isolate the lines, take the one-on-ones you know you can win. Just like that, JKS shuts down Daps towards danger. Peter should be up. No! What a shot coming out from JKS! I was going to say Peter. I thought he had it for sure, but now he's drawing so much attention away.
JKS just having a great time here, rolling through the CTs. Fugly, all what's left will be taken down by Yustilo. That is a much better round from the Renegades and an excellent round from JKS. That second shot on Peter was incredibly sharp.
It's just the game sense coming into play as well as just getting the line and the shot. So now he's going to carry the AWP for the Renegades towards the second buy round. And NRG looking a little bit poor, do have to force up on the majority of their players. Marky decides to go for the Mag 7. It looks like only Marky and Daps really the ones with poor weaponry. Peter's going to go for another peek, but he's going to be blinded out this time. Renegades do use some early utility to make sure that A is secure. And just a single flashbang, able to keep JKS safe. He's locking down the angles with the AWP. Means that Renegades can still flex their way on towards B site.
You were right about that JKS AWP. Which, I mean, he did pick it up last round. He didn't buy it, to be fair, but still obviously rolling with that thing here, feeling comfortable with it, or else he would have thrown that over to a teammate. Azza looking to repeat his heroics at the last round where he got that nice entry down drop. Gonna have to worry about the Mag 7 of Marky playing some very close angles. Something to be afraid of, but Azza just moving down, pre-firing the corners. Gonna check for Marky. Not gonna do it quickly enough though as the headshot comes in from that shotgun.
Yeah, much better play from Marky, just playing the off angle, trying to catch one off guard. So Renegade's going to lose a member early on, but still has made his way out through drop. We'll spot out Breezy throwing a flashbang, so very easy headshot coming out from him. They know where Fugly is on plant, and Uber needs to make the trade. Does. And Bomb should break out towards B. JKS late on the rotate, so the both riflers on that B site need to take caution, especially with Adder on 13 HP. NRG still in this with a very big chance. Daps with the HE, though, means that he's not going to be rotating across just yet. Peter coming across to spot out JKS, and JKS loses this one with the AWP. Now a 2-on-3, and Adder's walking ever so slowly.
Straight into Peter.
NRG played this retake perfectly.
And Renegades, not so much. You can't be walking into an angle you know what Orb's holding. Uber now, again, in the clutch situation, has already been spotted out. He's getting spammed. Marky takes him down easy as you like. 2K for him in the round, 2 for Peter as well. Bomb diffuser will come in, and Renegades, just as soon as they win one, it's going to be turned around on them. That's still going to mean not good things for their economy either. It's unfortunate for them. They didn't want to have that happen to them. They've got a bit of money left over from the last round. They managed to, I suppose, that AWP was saved rather than invested in by them, so that's going to be all right for their economy. But JKS not going to go for another one here. Could have afforded one if he went a little bit lighter on the utility, but instead just going to go for the AK full utility. Work with his teammates And look at that, identical sets of utility for everyone. 2 flushes, 1 smoke, 1 Molotov. If they can use those to good effect, they can make their entry to the sites very, very easy.
Once again, just locking down long A, and JKS making noise. And a bit of a nuisance towards A as well as long A. All those Renegades slowly making their way towards B, so it looks like they're just setting up their default once again. What I wanted to point out, though, was when Adam made the play towards Ali, was he had to do that because they're already down 2 on 3. So JKS, if he was able to get the pick, Renegade should have been able to roll that forward. But with the loss of a very early member, they had to make an aggressive play, and it didn't work out. A flashbang coming in through, and Mark is completely blinded out, and Hazza is going to pounce on the opportunity. Also spots out Breezy as well. Breezy stuck between a rock and a door. Well, he's just going to be pinned against the rock, I guess.
Thought you were going for a rock in a hard place, but a rock and a door is equally accurate.
That door is not that much of a hard place.
It's not. You can
very
shoot straight through it.
inflexible.
I mean, we've seen people get PG-50s kills through that door, so not the most difficult or the hardest of places. Difficult, it's not the right meaning of hard that I'm going for. Either way, Daps and Peter do have a bit of a hard time here on this retake. They're not even going to go for it right now. Peter sequestered over towards A along, saving the AWP. Will eventually have Ustila coming in for him, but not this time, as Daps is going to be there eventually to clean up the headshot. Uber on the hunt. Might be able to catch out Daps as Peter not quite going to peek out quickly enough, but Daps has heard it coming, waiting for Uber. Uber's going to miss the shot.
Lots of damage done by NRG. If they're able to take these rifles, not only do they drop 2 AK-47s, it stops Renegades from having another clean round.
And Renegades can't commit any more to that hunt. They've done the most they could, really. They've pushed 2 players after it, and that's all they could really afford to commit. If they'd lost 2 players but gotten the 1 kill, they could have committed a little bit harder to hunt for that last rifle, but losing 2 players for no return, they've got to give up the hunt at that point.
Especially if they do drop the next round against NRG. They should know that NRG are close towards an eco, so NRG have to force into this round. Renegades should be able to punish them. Just need to make sure they don't go too over-aggressive at drop. NRG need to start changing their playstyle at drop as well. Azza has gone there so many rounds in a row now with Estillo, just trying to work the position, and it's working out favorably for them every single round.
See it already, they're setting up to move down that drop position, going together as a pair, dynamic pair down the drop. 3 players stacked up in mid for NRG, though. That's all of the pistols here, just waiting for the T's to push into them. Still on Azza taking a bit of a different tack to approaching drop this time, boosting up, trying to catch out the counter boost from those CTs, get that quick headshot, but no such luck for them. The 2 rifles holding towards B, the 3 pistols towards A. It's a good stack from NRG. The Renegades have gone B pretty much basically every round. So this gamble to have the big guns towards B where they can do the damage is a good one. And the pistols look like they want to push. JKS going to need to check down low, but will spot 1. Headshots come through, but only 1. Marky cleans him up, can grab that gun, has no armor to back it up, but the Renegades have to be careful now.
They know that there's only going to be 2 at most on the B side, so they can push quite comfortably. Peter missing the first shot. It's going to be cleaned up, and Renegades, they know, all right, we've lost a single AK-47, but we've taken an AWP and M4. That's favorable for us. We're going to be happy with that outcome any time of the week. Just make sure that NRG cannot get any more guns. You can see it's still on the hunt when probably should be playing a little bit more passively. Doesn't need to commit a risk.
But the player who's isolated does have a USP, so he should be able to get that kill.
At the same time, you don't want to be giving an easy kill over, say, if Marky was with Fugly, who is eventually taken down. If Marky got an easy kill, they'll able to take another AK-47. Not only could they do more damage to the Renegades economy, but they could also take 2 AK-47s in the next round.
Interesting as well that Renegades aren't picking up the AWP. They haven't bought one yet.
To.
The last time they had one, they did pick it up, but this time I don't want it, as they're going to get the headshot onto Marky with a nice couple taps through. Gets that across the line, so Renegades not quite out of this one yet. They're only 2 rounds behind. The economy for NRG is looking pretty shaky at this point. They can force buy if they want, but it's not going to be fantastic. They can only afford a couple M4s, really. And those will be without much utility.
They could force up an AWP in this round if they choose to do so. We do have a match pause coming through. Not sure if it's a tech or tactical. If it was a tactical, maybe it's NRG trying to discuss what they want to do in the buy round. If it was a tech, well, then both teams would discuss what they want to do. But it looks like NRG is going to be... Okay, so it is a tactical pause where NRG don't particularly want to be investing too much, which isn't a bad decision given the money situation of Daps and Breezy. Would have liked to see them force up, though. They would have been able to achieve something. I believe with the force, they would have been able to to achieve work. It's just
well, they
Renegades
could
have...
have they could have got some M4s. Would have been decent.
It would only be breezy, say, with a Famasa UMP, still had enough for utility. It was 3.8k on their poorest player.
Yeah,
so it
so
wasn't...
their could have been decent.
Could have been, but they decided to go, no, full guns out. We don't want to be giving a single opportunity towards... We don't want to give opportunity towards Renegades. As, well, default comes through once again. NRG, they should have... I think after these last couple of rounds, they should have a good read of what's happening with Renegades. They should go, all right, this is what Renegades love doing. We need to punish him for this. It's JKS. He's just pushing himself solo. It's not going to work because there are so many CZs, so many guns at the drop area. A stack coming out from NRG means they'll pick up AK-47. Renegades now moving towards the B side. They'll get the first opening kill on towards Daps. But so much more work to do. They can't give up any more weapons. Adder's going to be dinked out. We'll get the kill on towards Breezy. Bugley now coming across alongside with Peter. They want to stop this bomb plant, but Uber covering off the angles means they can't push forward. But Dink's coming forward. So much damage done. But if... Oh my goodness, Astillo, he's going to come around on the flank and clean.
Perfect.
Going to clean up matters. It looked a little bit scary for Renegades. Adder on 5, Uber on 20. If a couple more shots went in the favor of NRG, could have been seeing a completely different clutch situation. But the full buy coming out from NRG.
The rifles, the AWP coming out, the utility is there as well. They've only got 3 defuse kits, but it's better than 1. They've got enough that they can pick them up if they do drop and get over towards whichever bomb site the bomb is on, go for a retake. At this point, it's Renegades again going towards B, and it's been working for them, so why not? Again, they've got all the utility they could ever ask for. Marky down in drop, throws a grenade up through, falls back to window, trying to channel his inner Taz there, playing outside the window, but the Renegades taking this one slowly again.
The key weakness so far for NRG is the drop area. They have every single round, except for, say, for example, one round where Marky was able to get that Mag 7 kill. Every single round, NRG have lost this area. And this means that Renegades, they can threaten either side. They go, all right, there's going to be one sitting out flowers. We've got a pop flash for you. There's nothing that Marky can do. So Marky has to play so respectfully. He comes across, he knows there's going to be Renegades players. So Peter's now shifted his AWP angle, and they stack closer towards B plat to try to regain some of the lost area. But this means their A side control is so much poorer.
It is, and they're not even bothering to hold drop from inside it now. They've just been overrun pretty much every time with that one, the exception of that one Mag 7 kill. This time flashing into B longs, try and clear some angles out. And I like this change from Marky as well, getting the Molotov in front of the window, just trying to stop someone jumping on him, but you still have spotted him out. NRG very afraid of this drop area. You can see how many players they have posted over looking towards it, but as is already down. 34 seconds left though, Renegades need to get on their bikes, need to get a bit of a move on, but instead the flash comes out the window as a straight out through there to the player behind him. It's Marky, and he gets caught out inside the smoke. Peter playing a close angle, gets obliterated by Ustillo. He does get one for his trouble, but goes down in a 4-on-3. The A site, with the exception of Daps, completely under Renegades' control. Daps looking to get something done here, but cannot drop the bomb carrier. We'll find only one before JKS trades him out. Breezy coming in, gets rid of JKS, back into a 2-on-2 here for the Renegades, and that flashbang keeps both T and CT alive in that 1-on-1, but Fugly now waiting for his teammate to move up so he can push in together.
They should... The Ts, their only advantage is that they know where the CTs are coming in from, but now that advantage has been given away, and now it's all up to Uber on the side, and he can't do anything. And NRG...
A really nice retake.
Solid coming out from Breezy as well as Fugly. Both Peter and Daps are chiming in with a killer piece, but the area is still an issue.
It is.
They didn't expect Daps to be at stable. They were thinking, all right, there was only going to be one, one sitting towards... No one on site, one sitting towards vent room, towards balcony. All right, they're not going to have anyone there. And then Breeze was able to come through and get 2 kills, which was the defining factor. He's able to come from behind at slope. So Renegades, they'll now incorporate that. The key issue, drop. How are Energy going to hold it?
Exactly, because while Energy are able to deal with the retake, they managed to get that across the line. You can't rely on, hey guys, we're just going to retake them in a 2-on-4 every round or a 2-on-3. They've got to try and stop that situation before it develops, which means they have to do something about this drop control that's being taken by the Renegades. And looks like they do have a player in there. Looks like Marky. No, he's actually moving back out into the connector again. So same positions really being taken out. This time Breezy's there as well to move in. Play close. Try and crossfire the Renegades. They do indeed go that area again, but why not? It's been working for them. They do have some feelers out towards T mid. Gonna have Daps pushing it along with the UMP. Maybe getting a little bit too aggressive. No, he's just taking a more advanced position and waiting around in there. So unless the T's run into him, shouldn't have too much issue. Could potentially get a flank off here. Daps if he hears this push coming. But it looks like T's going to be walking into mid. they could actually come up behind Daps as they move to head up danger. In the meantime, though, Renegades taking control of drop once again.
It's just the standard setup. Azur and Estilo just work together, make sure that Marky feels very, very uncomfortable under the pressure, and then slowly move their way forward. But look at where Daps is. He's made his way towards Courtyard, and he's pushing behind in B-Halls the long way around. Uber and JKS, they have control of danger, but they're not suspecting that someone's going to be coming behind, and Daps could do some serious damage if he comes in at the right time. The bomb is going to be making its way through, drop towards A site. The only question is now, well, Adda's been taken out. They've lost the bomb.
The T's have so much map control, but no bomb control, and Fugly's going to find himself too. That's a real problem now for Uber and JKS, as the A side is theirs, but the bomb is not, and they need to find all of the kills between them.
No time.
Exactly, there's 12 seconds left. Going to be splitting up, going for the save here. JKS hanging around on the A site. Uber hightailing it back to the tower and T-spawn as the timer ticks away. But what a brilliant, brilliant push from Daps. He only got 1 kill, but 1 kill's all we needed.
Yeah. That was a very good round coming from Daps, just a calculated push, but similarly, a poor round from Renegades where they allowed Adda to die and didn't realize they heated the bomb. If someone just stayed behind it, drop. If Adda was just a little bit faster, but NRG are slowly starting to catch on, starting to push for information, and Renegades needs to respect this. They need to respect the fact that NRG will push to gain control towards long A or maybe even mid in lieu of giving up drop room control.
Again,
even that time around, NRG were able to hold drop room, so it still has made his way fast out B flat, and he's just a dead man instantly.
Domed by Fugly there. Very nice play around the tree from him at the edge of the smoke. Renegades have got to be aware of that possibility. They have to think that that might be an issue, as now, again, the adaption comes in from NRG. Beautiful double peek in towards the drop. They avoid the Molotov. They don't worry about the flashbang. Get the kill on Azur. They've figured out a counter to Renegades here. And they still have this aggressive setup towards A long. There could be flank potential coming in there for Peter. Well, not Peter, but Daps could decide to push this again. Indeed, he is going to. Renegades. Drop control works great if you have control of the rest of the map. When you don't, you're just shutting yourself in for flanks.
This is all up to the entries that are coming out from Renegades.
Have to move quick. Daps is on the way.
Well, NRG know where they are, so it doesn't matter how fast they move. They have to get the kills, so they have to be aware that there is a flank potential. Daps has pushed in every single... For the last 2 rounds, he's pushed in, gotten the crucial information, and forced a great rotation from NRG. And now all the numbers on B plat, but the numbers there also... Well, in the hands of the CT, and Fugly is going to go huge. Knows exactly where JKS is, and just shuts down with a 3 kill. 4 kill for the entire round. As NRG in danger of running away with their CT half.
They've got themselves 8 rounds already. They've got the majority, and they're not done. They're looking to move further forward. Full buy does come out. They've got themselves 3 AKs and then 4 on an AWP. They have more AKs than the terrorist side does right now, as on the side of Renegades, it's a single hero AK on Uber. Tech 9s for the rest of the guys. A couple flashbangs, couple smokes. They can try and make something of this, but again, it's a full committal towards B. There's going to be no one waiting for this flank if it decides to happen again. NRG have read this, though. They're here and they're waiting. Here come the Renegades very, very quickly. They're going to have to hit their entries here soon. And Fugly's ready, found himself 2. Make that 3. Pulls out the USP, and I thought he was going to get the ace there. Breezy did steal 1 for him, but Renegades melt under a second 4K from Fugly. 8 kills and 2 rounds for him. Very impressive stuff, as he's already sitting towards 22 and 5. Fugly is on fire.
He's just shutting down the B-side take by himself. And Renegades... It's still, I just like to see Estilo and Azur just go back to drop room. It was working for them. They don't need to change, they don't need to vary their situation up. It's all dependent on that A site containment of Daps for the information. If they can shut down Daps trying to push for information, then it would help them so much. But JKS is able to take down Peter, and this means the A site is a lot weaker because now Daps is in a position where he has to fight or just die, but Breezy takes down JKS. He's down to 22, but the position's so important. Daps still dancing around in danger. They're not clearing out these lines, and Daps just goes absolutely ham. And this is an issue, because as soon as Daps goes, all right, I can see how many members there are, and Fugly just comes in and cleans up. He's on 24 kills.
Fugly playing so well.
I was talking about one of the other members at NRG stepping up, but I didn't expect Fugly to step up like this.
24 and 5. 1 more kill, and he'll secure himself that magical 5 KD. That's insane numbers from him, and it hasn't even looked too difficult for him. He's just sitting on B, NRG are just feeding into him, and he's getting all of the kills. It doesn't look hard. He's just shooting away, hitting the headshots, getting the sprays. Renegades again, going fast. B, guys, this hasn't worked before. This time might be different, but somehow I doubt it. As Fugly's already found his first kill through the smoke, hitting 25 and 5 KD. It's the last round of the half. If he can get all these kills, he's going to put himself towards 29. Nearly a 30 bomb in one half. Insane numbers. JKS again hitting the shot on Peter. That's the second time he's found that angle. But in a 4-on-4, it might not be enough though. He still finds another. Fugly tapping away. He gets 3 kills again. This guy's on fire. He's pretty much turning this game around by himself for NRG.
Yeah, JKS, no matter what, he's trying to create opportunities towards A side. It's not working because he gets 1 and then Fugly gets 3. So even if it's just, they make a 1-for-1 trade, it's just never going to work out for Renegades. But JKS once again in the lurking position, able to get another kill on towards Breezy. And with this fake smoke grenade that was coming out from Azza, well, they've gained control of A site. Zap's going to be waiting for Fugly to come across.
Personally, I'd love Daps to die and Fugly gets the ace. That'd be fitting, given what we've seen out of him so far this half. But the Molotov is there. JKS doesn't quite spot out Daps, who was close though. CT is going to be moving together. Fugly's still a bit scared of this smoke, but now the bomb is down. Going to be moving in. JKS coming close, finds the headshot on Daps, and closes it out on Fugly as well. So what could have been an 11-4 is going to be a 10-5 instead. But what a massive start from Fugly.
Yeah, I mean, 25 kills, 6 deaths, so not preserving the 5 KD. Good work from JKS. It felt like to me...
I think. 3K in the end.
A 3 kill, so
27, I think.
27.
Insane numbers, no matter what it is.
Indeed. I would say that for the side of Renegades, Azza as well as JKS looking good. It was just overall NRG. Really the only weak point I could spot out was Marky a few times at drop room. Otherwise, he was able to kind of fall back and just go, all right, let's just let Fugly take over. And then on the side of A, Daps just went, okay, I might not be able to get the kills, but I'll push for information. And all the times he pushed for information, 2 rounds he won with that critical information gathering, as well as the push on towards Adder and dropping the bomb. And then every single time he just runs interference. He just gets 1 pick at long A, and he just stays alive for the next 30 seconds. And I'm just going, Renegades are not clearing these corners.
No, it's so hard to deal with for Renegades as well. I do like the change up from NRG because they're thinking, all right, we just lost drop room a lot of times in a row. They shift another fragger in, still doesn't work out. It eventually does work with the double pick and drop, but before they even get to that stage, they're just like, how do we deal with the fact that we lose drop every single time? We get aggressive elsewhere. So they push, as you said, Daps just goes all the way out. That 1 round where he gets the bomb down, Renegades can do nothing. That was their adaption, I guess. It's not really a word either way. That's how they changed it up, and it worked so well for them. Renegades, if they were allowed to go towards B uncontested, take drop, they did well. That was what we saw in their first couple rounds that they won. But after that, with NRG able to adapt and think, you guys aren't touching anywhere else on the map, we're just going to run away with it.
I think Renegades tried over-adapting. They tried putting a lot more forces towards A site when they didn't need to. That final round was just testimony to how Renegades should have played. Allow JKS to do his stuff towards long A. Just let him just go through and go, all right, I'm going to get the headshot towards Peter every single time through the tiniest angle. He just does it round after round. The guy's a machine.
Yeah.
Allow him to work A by himself, get the kills, force the rotation over, JKS can stay alive. All you have to do for the rest of the round is make sure there's no flank and that you just lock down drop as well as B side. Now they're starting on the CT side, have to take the pistol round. If they don't take the pistol round, it may just all be over. But JKS in the right position. He's going to get 1, but good trades coming out from NRG. Immediately tapping him out. Now Uber alongside with Azza have the good positioning. NRG, they got to get these headshots in trade, otherwise it's not going to work out for them. And Peter's actually coming through, knows that there's 1 towards Stables, 2 headshots for him, and he's also spotted out Adder. But now 1-on-2 after Adder's able to get more headshots. Going in, also dinks down Peter and Estillo. Coming in from the long angle, this should be Renegade's pistol round.
Should be, unless he still misses his shot here. But Peter, they now know exactly where he's playing from. He's got some time to work with here, but the bomb sitting under Adder's feet. And a nice flick shot from Adder to close it out. Peter gets tapped out of the round, and Renegades keep their dreams alive. Get themselves a 6th round. They will be able to buy in here. NRG didn't get the bomb down, so could very well force. And there's a P90 out on Estillo.
Estillo loves that weapon.
He does.
But
The
he needs
Renegades
to...
just like it. I've seen Azza use it a lot too.
The problem, though, is he needs to make full use of it. Nearly 2.5k, 2,350 to purchase up. No kill reward on the back of that the SMG. JKS though starting to chime in and do some damage to the UMP. But NRG don't want to be contesting danger. Go straight up slope. Flashbang comes forward and JKS going ham. Gets 2 more. And he wants to clean up with the USP, but Azza decides to join the party and Daps trying his best. Actually gets 2 headshots to the Tech 9, but eventually he'll run out of life and bullets. And this means Renegades will clean up, only losing 2 UMPs. And NRG on the eco for this round, so Renegades should be feeling a lot more comfortable coming in towards potentially an 8-10 scoreline.
Yeah, and JKS did fall, but he had one of those UMPs that was lost, and he got 3 kills before going down. So he paid for his UMP plus 50% of the money before dying. So really no impact on him dying in that round. It means it reduced his profit a little, but he's still making money. Be able to rebuy another one out here, and mostly an SMG setup here. Uber takes a lot of damage from a Glock, which is interesting, but with the MP9, wants to play aggressive here. The rest of the Renegades just waiting around with those SMGs, wanting to be pushed. You still are actually getting really aggressive with the P90. He finds one, but only one. Gets dropped from behind by Daps. It's a questionable fight to take.
Very questionable. He did gain the early information, but decided to go too hard for glory, and it doesn't work out. Otherwise, Renegades are going to back off after losing an early member. NRG can still get the bomb plant down. Still a minute to work with. And now they have themselves a P90. Whether or not they can utilize this P90 is a different question, but they have more space. Still a P250 as well on the hands of Daps. 2 Glocks. Can't really do much.
You'd think not, and you'd hope not. Of course, the way Fugway's been fragging, he could just go out and get a 4K with the P90 right now.
I don't think so, because
I
there
don't
is
think
someone
so
locking
either.
down B plat.
But
It's going to be add-ons.
Adder just waiting. The flashbang comes in, looking for the headshots. Finds Fugly, finds 3 actually there, and now Daps left all alone. Adder going to run out of ammo, but Azza comes in to help him out with the FAMAS. Renegades close it out almost cleanly, despite the early loss of Ustillo with the P90 there, but they're not going to be too bothered by that. They kept the M4 alive, which was the main gun they were worried about. Going to be able to rebuy here. They're going for 3 M4s, so still a bit of a bonus round setup, but not complete SMGs. The AK is now going to come out for NRG.
JKS opting to stay with the UMP, and Azza also holding on to the FAMAS, which is, given the scoreline, they are able to have this little breathing space. They're able to take this, should be able to force NRG towards another eco, as well as upgrading their own economy. So it's a win. Even if Renegades lose, it's not too hard of a loss scenario. If they're able to do damage with these weapons, they can kind of compound their advantage forwards, trying to find the word. Able to, if they can trade out the UMP and FAMAS for 2 AKs, even if they lose a round, it's going to add up favorably towards them if they're able to bring each round close. Which is a very slow round from NRG, but just making sure they don't give anything away.
They want to get back onto winning ways, so they don't need to go down any more rounds than they already have, because losing the pistol, losing an X2, that's all fairly standard sort of stuff. But this is the first chance for NRG to get back on the horse, be able to start pushing forward again, hitting themselves their 11th round and move further into this the later half of this matchup, because, of course, if Renegades can win this round, they're only going to be 1 round behind. They'll almost have completely made up the disadvantage they had in the last half. Fugly, of all people, doesn't want that to happen, but there is almost no utility left on NRG. 2 flashbangs total. They're going to have to use those very, very well if they want to get into this A site cleanly.
Well, it's all to Uber to hold this on the boost wall. So there's a flashbang, and Uber's completely blinded out. Breezy. Great entry on towards Uber. And A site, early rotations coming out from Renegades. It means that Az is already below balcony and JKS on the side, and Az is able to get 2. It's not enough, though. Resets it towards a 2 and 3, but a single flashbang for NRG to work with. All up to Adder. Oh, Ustillo actually coming through the doors. No, coming in through slope, gets the kill. And Adder is now making his way out of vent, spotted out Daps. Gonna be dancing around, having a bit of a tango. A 1-on-1 moonlight session. It looks like Daps is gonna be the first partner to back away. And Marky left on the site. Ustillo now pushing up towards APC. Looking to get the headshot. Will he be able to get the kill on Daps on the long rotation? This may not work out favorably. The bomb is not in a place where he wants to be defusing.
There's nothing Daps can do right now. Adder's tucked in towards the back of the bomb site. He has no idea about this. He's now going to know about it as the bomb's been defused by Adder. Should just be sticking here and not peeking, keeping the gun alive. Unfortunate for Daps, the bomb was not planted for him. If it had been a little bit further out, Fugly wouldn't have been able to do that. Sorry, not Fugly. Adder would have been able to stick that in the back of the site, but unfortunately for Daps, that's the way the cookie crumbles. No clutch for him. Renegade's going to take their 9th. Now only 1 round behind. JKS on the AWP once again. This time it is going to be purchased. He's going to be looking to do some damage with that thing. Where is he playing? Looks like he's going over towards mid, sitting in danger, a position that he's seemingly very fond of. He's played it a lot. Not so much with the AWP, but he's still going to be over there just waiting for the T's to push him. Now moving up into A long as well. So if Shaky S can find his form with the AWP, it's going to be dangerous for NRG here on their T side. For the moment, he's just playing passive, as are NRG.
NRG don't need to push in, and Breezy, not sure how he took damage from the incendiary grenade, but that's how the cookie crumbles.
4 damage.
4 damage, but the damage tick kind of just signifies, oh, NRG, they've got a couple of members floating around, so the information is crucial.
That's true
as well. Because if the tick didn't happen, they wouldn't go, oh, NRG has situated themselves, you know, close drop, maybe close towards B platform, B halls. Azza is boosted up, but just ducking underneath his head and finds absolutely off timing. They weren't expecting it, and Renegades just fall back. They just go, yep. They are falling back towards the wrong position, though. They're going towards the A site when NRG are executing towards the B site, so Azza does realize, all right, maybe I should go back towards B. I've got enough members towards A, and up to Addo to hold B plat as Marky. Gonna try and make a lurk play. It's not gonna work.
Perfectly timed from Uber.
Renegades looking solid now on the defensive side, but they've got to hold off this B-side push. That is coming through, and Adder going 1-for-1. Breezy, though, doing damage as well. Also joining in with the party, and Azza just keeping his head ducked underneath. He's going to spot out Peter. He doesn't know where Breezy is. The bomb has been lost at JKS. Very easy peek. Breezy just strolling out, not realizing the error of his ways. And another pause coming through.
I think Fugly has something like 1 kill
On the T side so far.
T-side so far. After going so hard on the CT, getting himself 27. I'm pretty sure I saw there he's only on 28 now, so 28 still not a number to laugh at. He's doing amazingly, but when
He's
27 of those come in 15 rounds, and you only get 1 in the next 5.
Well, the rest of NRG are struggling.
That's true.
They're unable to get the entry kills working in their favor. Every single time it just feels like Fugly is probably one of the first people to die in terms of the opening. So you had Marky as well as Daps, the first fatality in the buy round. They tried coming forward. Didn't work out because you can't really push in aggressively and expect to win when you don't have territory. They were trying to find the off angle. Renegades were going, all right, let's just play close. They're already down members. Either we can play close, get information early on. They have to use utility to bust their way up, or they have to make a risky play. And Renegades pounce on it. They succeed, and now the scoreline is tied 10-all.
Renegades done well to bring it back here. NRG need to figure out what's going on for them. Need to figure out what's going wrong. Right now, it's just been a lot of what happened to Renegades on their T side. It's just they're running into sites and they're getting shredded. They're just not getting anything done. They're losing the first pick. They have to try and adapt to that, and it's not really going so well for them. We saw there was a flank attempt there out onto A, but Uber was sitting in that corner perfectly, was able to shut that down. It's unfortunate timing, sure, but it's one of those things that if you're going to go for that, you have to be a lot more careful of all of your corners, because if you're going to come in for the backstab, there could be CTs anywhere.
And it's so difficult to come up slope and check all the angles.
It is.
You come up slope, you got to check CT, you got to check left, you got to check right, you got to check that little corner post. You've also got to check broken wall, as well as not only on top of the booster broken wall, but also where the pot plants are. So you have about
those, yeah.
You have 6 or 7 different angles you need to check as a T coming out of mid.
It's a really difficult position to play. It can work if there's no one there, but if your teammates haven't pushed yet, you're going for an early flank, and you don't have the information you have to be worried about everywhere. Right now, though, NRG just going to be on the pistols and armor. It's actually a CZ out on Fugly as well, so...
I want to place pressure on JKS, but JKS just falls back. He is like wind... I was trying to go for a beautiful analogy, but that's not going to work out. I was going to say he's like wind in the rain. He just goes forward and just... He's like Cyclone Debbie.
Like tears in the rain.
Yeah. Really? Blade Runner?
Yeah, we're pulling out Blade Runner.
We're pulling out Blade Runner. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, NRG going to be trying to run their way up mid. Renegades, I think, have suspected that it may be the case. They've already rotated 2 members across, and JKS doesn't know that one's already fast stable, but he will get the pick on towards Breezy. Now coming across, I think he hears out Daps tapping away the P250, but so much pressure on JKS, but JKS nullifies it. What a flick on towards Fugly, but Peter and Daps doing work as well. Bring it back towards a 2-on-2, still needs to be careful. Making so much noise, and Peter will be able to leg him. He also spots out Daps, but Daps needs to retrieve the bomb. What a play coming out from JKS, and Daps, it could go huge. But Ada does manage to nullify the danger. Good force by coming out from NRG. They came so close. Renegades, a bit of a sigh of relief. After JKS's first 3 kills, they dropped 2 players instantly after that. And Renegades cannot allow that to happen again.
Really good trades from NRG there. JKS finding 3 in the close range to be able to bring that back into a 1-on-2 and very briefly a 1-on-1. Excellent recovery from NRG, especially only on the pistols. This round, going to have the full buyout, but so too will the Renegades. Good utility on both sides. 3 kits up for the CTs, bunch of grenades everywhere. Could be a pretty even round actually, but Renegades, after being 5 rounds down, have brought back 6 to find themselves in the lead. They need to try and hold on to this here.
Similarly, NRG, they're on the cusp of breaking through Renegade's economy. Renegades lost 4 guns in the round, and NRG should know this. They've done consistent damage, and as soon as they take a round, they will force the CTs into a force buy and an eco. So, just slowly playing around, trying to maneuver the CTs into more favorable positions so the Ts can attack. But once again, Renegades not falling. They've been able to rotate the members consistently to the correct areas time after time. And as they now boost up towards tree, NRG should be able to take drop. It's not being contested other than by Uber, who's just making some noise, making NRG uncomfortable, dropping through, and just forcing them to use more utility.
Bleeds a smoke out of them there. NRG will gain drop control off the back of that, but there's smokes everywhere, Uber. He was considering going for that. He now has to push through yet more smokes, doing his best Chewy 2K to make it back here. And Azza completely obliterated up on the boost. Ada finding 2 there somehow. Peter going for the flick, missing it still, and he needs to find this shot. Does find that one. Looking for more. This Molotov could be great on Ada. Peter pushing in, hits the flick. Going for the 1-on-2 now. JKS could be caught out throwing a grenade. Peter so close, going to miss the shot. Going for the pistol kill on JKS, not going to get it done. There was a chance there if he could have found that one, but Renegade's going to win the round and go for the double AWP as well.
I don't like this double AWP.
Who's going to play it?
Uber made a mistake, and they should just drop the AWP out of the map.
Yeah, because they don't really have another AWP. I mean, JKS don't really know
Ada's
they're going to do it.
picking up
All right, they're going with Ada and JKS. JKS has done decently so far. I'll have to see if Ada can deliver, but really,
This isn't a bad decision.
on the CT side, the AWPs just have to be turrets. They don't need to do what JKS just did. If they can just hold a long angle, hit the shots, have rifles there to back them up, it can work.
What Ada's just going to do as Estillo is charging, he's actually challenging, and he's winning right now. He takes 3 just like that at B platform. I was going to say, what Ada needs to do with this AWP is just become that turret towards B platform. Don't allow NRG any breathing space. Just put pressure on Peter, put pressure on the riflers, that if they dare peek, they'll get taken out. Or just simply just sit back at chicken, which is what he's doing, and just locking down. As soon as one person tries to peek across, he just sits the line, takes them out.
It's the advantage of the CT side if you don't have a dedicated AWP player. You can still have AWPers because they don't need to do necessarily the super flashy plays. Of course, if a retake comes in, that becomes a bit of an issue for them. But at least defensively, they can just turret AWP. On the T side, if you're not an AWPer, that can be a little bit more difficult to AWP. You have to find the engagements rather than having them come to you. But right now, JKS can just sit here, hold this line. Missing the shot, unfortunately for him. The pressure now coming his way as he's on just 2 HP. He's away from the Molotov, but now he's got a player here to back him up. It is Azza. We'll get the headshot through as well. So these AWPs can work for the Renegades. Just have to be careful that they hit their shots. And Peter stuck over at the stables. There's damage coming through. It's just getting spammed from everywhere. I don't even know if the Renegades know exactly where he is. They're just flinging bullets through, and it's working. Azza, though, has a better read. Gets himself a 2K, both of them towards the stable region. Puts Renegades on 13 rounds. The double AWP will stay alive. You still are the only player falling. And he got an awful lot of kills doing so. Fugly has completely slowed down from 27 and 6, I think, to 28 and 14.
His only kill came out in the pistol rounds, in the buy rounds, in the consecutive 8 rounds that NRG have lost in a row now. He has not made a single impact. And Renegades are starting to roll away. This is where it becomes scary for NRG. If they do not stop and take a round now, it may be all over. And Renegades are looking in good form. On T side, looked a lot more shaky with the feeling. Uber was not too impressive, but now in the CT, coming towards the zone, and Stillo crawling up towards B.
He's made his way into the cutout, waiting for these Ts.
But NRG surely should know about this. He's also got Ada as support, and Marky. Ada's got the first pick. And Stillo able to get one as well. So Ada's still alive. They force Renegades to rotate across towards the B site, and Peter's just trying to lock down 2 angles, and Ada's just playing safe. He doesn't need to peek out. JKS on the side. Oh, great entry coming out from Fugly. Fugly with 2 kills. As soon as we're talking about Fugly, he's opening the party up. And NRG, 2-on-2.
Bomb will be going down. NRG has some time to play with, but Azza almost shut the whole thing down there. Spotted out both players. The information is given over to Uber, but Daps going to take him down with a 2K of his own. Fugly there now. I believe that would have ticked him over to 31 kills. Indeed it will. 31 and 15. That's better from him. Instead, it's also one of those things where you can say stats don't tell the whole story, because assuming this game ended right here, which of course it won't, but assuming it did, you look at the score, you can say, all right, NRG lost, but Fugly put up 28, 31 kills. He was playing really well. Of course, we know he had a great CT half. He's been a little bit quiet on the T, but either way, it doesn't really matter. He's looking to do some more damage here going forward, so if he can find his stride again, if he can play, if he can warm his aim up and play as sharply as he was on the CT side, that's going to be a real issue for Renegades as Fugly. Regardless of where those kills come in or when those kills come in, he still has 31 of them so far in 25 rounds.
And this is the breaking round for both teams. NRG, they lost a lot of weapons, so if they lose this round, might be able to force up on 2 members. But similarly for Renegades, Hatter with the AWP, JKS with the UMP, who's just playing close stable. You also have Uber that's playing a close slope as well, so looking to go for the one-on-ones. If NRG try engaging on the one-on-ones, one-on-twos, it may work in the favor of Renegades, who've proven themselves to be great at taking those fights.
Interesting as well for the Renegades that they've got 1 AWP and JKS decided he doesn't want it. It's going to be Ada sticking with that. Last round they had 2 AWPs, they both got entried relatively quickly, so looking to do some more damage with that for JKS. Playing over towards A-Long, spots out 1 player at least. There is another here. Uber, though, has a good position down towards mid. If he's not checked at the bottom of slope here, he could have a bit of a party, but this T is going to be coming from all angles around him. JKS just has to try and stay alive. Do some damage, and Uber's not going to get checked. The bomb falls at his feet. Peter comes in for the trade, though. Warps him down. JKS having a field day with the UMP. Only finds 1. Looked almost good for 2, but with 20 seconds left, NRG needs to move, and you still are taking down Breezy. Not going to help with that. Azza under so much pressure on the side, but he just needs to play time. Finds 1 and both with the UMP. We'll be able to run an upgrade to that AWP as well. Great round there from Azza to close it out. There was very little time for NRG. They had to push. 14-11 now. Renegades getting so close to ending this one, despite the heroic efforts of Fugly.
And this is where NRG are in a hard place. Have to force up. Tech 9s as well as an AK-47, lacking head armor on Marky as well as Breezy. This makes the M4s or even the UMP's job infinitely easier, and JKS back on the AWP. No AWP challenging at long distance. Well, they will be making their way fast towards long A, and Uber's going to push out with the A4, but he's got the smoke just covering. He's going to back out and decides to fall all the way back towards A site. Force NRG to use some of the early utility. It still goes for the opening deal towards Daps, and well, Daps is unable to really get any trades working out. Uber, this is up to him to make a play.
If he can get 2 kills here, he's good. There's 1. Overcommits to the peak there. Goes out a little bit too wide and will be traded out by Breezy. Good trades from the T side, though. They needed that one. Now they've got to try and beat out the AWP of JKS here. Throw out a Molotov, spots the player crossing, will fall back. Flashbang onto slope to get himself back into sight safely. NRG, they need to try and make this round work. They can do it if they can hit their shots here. Peter, if he can find the off timing, make his way into the bomb site, could be a real issue. But Azza in stables, waiting for these T's to push. They're very, very close to him. And Fugly, not going to check his corners. Breezy now right behind him will also fall to Azza, who's been having a field day with the UMP. And Peter on just 3 HP in a 1-on-3. He has 1 health for every player alive on the Renegades, and now he has none. 15-11, 3 guns kept up. Great CT side from Renegades.
Yeah, sick weapon, Azza. I think it's a misbuy, but...
No, use it, Azza. Do it.
No, still is going to use it. Just go towards B plat and just lock it down.
None of them want it. They're throwing it back and forwards.
It's like pass the parcel, but no one wants the parcel.
Pass the dak, guys.
Adder's taking it. He just goes... Okay. I love Adder. He's such a selfless player. He just goes...
a kind guy. Don't worry, guys. I'll take the cannon.
I'll
Give
take
it to me.
Look, I know you guys don't want to AWP here. I'll do it. Oh, you guys don't want the Scar... Oh, look, I'll do it.
I just want the Negev misfire to come out. Guys, you don't want the Negev. I'll do it.
This is all over for, I believe, NRG. Fugly's able to come forward and get the first pick, but
Adder away here. They're actually down into the side. He could have a bit of an issue here, but Azza's going to be there to support. Not quite. Azza looking the wrong way. Caught out by Fugly. Adder falls as well. I'd love to do a tease pick up the dak right now. Just rub it in Renegade's face. You bought this thing. We're going to take it now. It's not really that useful on the T side of Cobble, but it's better than no gun for Breezy, and he's going to pick it up. The Renegades, though, want nothing to do with this round. I wonder if Breezy will keep this gunner or if he'll throw it away at the end.
Slight misplay coming out from Renegades in the round where they allow one of the members all the way on towards the side, and Azza's just unaware of this fact.
It is, and then Adder stuck in such a difficult situation where you're not an AWPer, trying to use a sniper rifle, even if it's a semi-automatic.
I would argue very
easy.
differently. All you do with the Scar 20 is you post yourself up. It's like a turret, but you have the luxury of missing so many shots.
It's just more difficult when they're all pushing into you and you're not aware of it, because an AWPer would be able to potentially isolate a few of those angles, but if you just get overrun like that, it's such a difficult thing to try and deal with. T's, though, going to keep 4 players alive, upgrade a few guns. I want to see where Breezy takes that classic Dak. Maybe throw it over to Fugly.
Be
Some
a
entry
tactical
frags.
calls coming out from Renegades.
It should be.
They're seeing to talk over. They go, look, we should have won. Now they got guns. You just need to take one more round. Let's talk about what we need to do. Our money situation is not the best.
I can
After
imagine the
the
first thing in their comms is just, all right, guys, be careful. There's now a Dak on the enemy team. Looks like they've thrown it away, though. It's just going to be sitting there under the ladder, riding out the round in T-spawn, and they don't want it. They use it in the post plant because it's better than no gun, but on the T side, it's going to be not all that effective.
Force Bine's coming out.
Looks like a lot of UMPs. Yeah, 2 M4s, 2 UMPs, and an AWP. Wonder if that's Ada or I believe it's JKS looking at those gloves. Pretty sure he's the one with those leather wraps. But on the T side though, their buy is pretty much set. A lot of rifles there. That poor Dak sitting abandoned in the corner. Need Ada on the T side, so he can be like, all right guys, I'll do it. Help you out.
Well, tech pause actually on the side of Renegades, so potentially maybe sound wasn't working.
Their
for one
technical
of the
difficulty
members.
is they lost the Dak. That's what the problem is. That's what the pause is for.
Well, it seems to be resolved as Renegades will force up 2 UMPs. But they also have the AWP in the hands of JKS, who was able to open up on towards one of the NRG members, and Marky, spamming through, is going to duck away just in the nick of time because JKS is playing aggressively. There's Marky throwing smoke grenade, and JKS going to escape out on towards slope. But just using early smoke grenades and flashbangs without gaining territory is just going to cost NRG in the late game if Renegades are just able to hold on. If Renegades are able to take their utility forward, they're able to hold into these Molotovs and flashbangs, then it could spell serious danger for NRG.
Could indeed. NRG, though, posting up over towards long for now. Just waiting around, trying to take their time. Renegades, of course, their buy isn't as good as NRG's, but they've still got that match point here. If they can convert any one of the next 3 rounds, they've got this. If they can't, overtime the dream, but they need to take this one carefully. NRG, Uber playing outside the window, waiting for NRG to come through here. They should be aware that drop room is a possibility, considering how much they used it on their own T side, but the smoke's going to come in Uber. Considering moving through this one, it's going to jump inside the window there.
It may just work if Fugly...
The timing, Fugly's ready for it, finds, that must be his 34th kill or something in the round, but the kill's starting to come in. Ada going huge, finding 2, Breezy less than 1 or 2. Has to try and clutch us out, Astillo moving in, flashbang out, over the top, completely blinds out Breezy. Only for a second though, as he now moves around towards the lane, looking for Astillo, who's looking the wrong way. If Breezy can hit the timing here, he's now been spotted out by Astillo, who's going to escape. This one just got so much more difficult. With 10 seconds left, Breezy finds 1 kill, needs 1 more. 10 seconds to play with, has to go. Try and find Astillo. Astillo is moving away right now. Breezy is going to get this bomb down, though. Astillo was banking on the fact he wouldn't be able to do that, but if he can hit this shot, and he can't, Renegades will close it 16-12 as Astillo picks up the final kill. It was very back and forth, but the first map will go the way of Renegades.
And we thought NRG had an advantage as well. 10-5 lead from their own CT half. 10-5 on the back of Fugly dropping a 27 kill half. To come towards this, where Renegade stepped up their game on the defensive side, I legitimately believe the MVP of that CT side was Ada.
Yeah,
just so many times on the B
well.
side, we didn't talk as much about Ada. We were just joking about how he was a selfless player, which he normally is on the side of Renegades. This time around, he just completely locked down the B side. How many rounds on the buy rounds? We just saw 2-3 kills coming out from his N4. Absolutely ridiculous and critical for Renegades taking map number 1 against NRG.
Yeah, he was playing that very, very nicely. Had some great rounds, some really good positioning to be able to move around, figure out exactly where they were coming from, and in situations where you really shouldn't get 2 or 3 kills, he was still managing to find them. He'd be behind Fountain, over towards Coop, somewhere like that, has players flooding in from all sides, still manages to isolate his one-on-ones, and that's textbook B-side play, really. It's just all about the movement, find your one-on-ones, find the favorable angles, and then you can just run away with multiple kills before getting traded, and that's just perfect for your teammates as well. If you can do that, you can equalize the situation, and they just have to come in and try to complete the retake.
Yep. Well, let's take a look if Renegades continue their hot form after the break.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
Nico wants another go at it though. Bolts is there, and another land to the slaughter. And Nico, what a round to come alive from this man.
The game has changed. This is why FaZe wanted Nico.
You like Nuke? No? Well, here's a common warehouse smoke for you anyway. The lineups for this are nice and easy. It's fairly common AWPers should play from this spot, and this smoke should push them away and force them to relocate. Position yourself over this corner and aim slightly above the metal fixture, and then toss the smoke. Easy, now you removed one of the 45 different angles that CTs can kill you from.
It's important to be part of the Pro League because it's sort of the premier league for all the North American pro teams, and also it gives you the opportunity to make the LAN finals and play against some of EU's best as well.
With the sponsor Mountain Dew, can be really good for up-and-coming players. It feels amazing to have this opportunity, and I'd never take it for granted, that's for sure.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Hey guys, and welcome back towards Matchday number 17 of the ESL Pro League. And we have just come back for a bit of an extended break. I think Tim is feeling a little bit better. He's had a bit of a nap at the back. So how are you, man?
Doing alright, you know. I wish these.
You're not that much better.
I wish these CS:GO updates would be better time because Valve's just like, you're in the middle of Pro League, update time, time to fix canals and militia.
Very critical maps.
That's actually what the update was. There was some shader updates. There was a few things with inventory, and then it's just, hey guys, we know how much you like canals and militia. Let us ship some updates.
Maybe we can get some smokes for canals and militia in the next ESL Pro Tips.
Hey guys, you like militia? No, here's the smoke anyway.
Well, maybe not militia. I think canals they're trying to push into the next competitive map. But well,
it's not a bad map to be fair.
I can see similarities with it with Overpass when it was initially released. But let's take a look at the schedule if you just tuned in after the extended break. It was Renegades taking Cobble. They were actually down 10-5 at one stage. On the mainstream, Immortals barely taking the victory against Rush on Overpass. So that, to me, is probably a little bit too close to comfort from Immortals, but Rush, from the last couple of weeks we've seen, they've been going on the up and up. So on the other side, Renegades, on our side, should I say, Renegades did take the victory 16-12, a very, very strong CT side, and it felt like NRG did kind of fall off on their own T side, didn't really execute well.
Yeah, it didn't go as they would have wanted for it. They did have a very, very good CT side, and in particular, Fugly had a very good CT side, but I believe he got 27 kills in the first half and wound up on 34. So 27 kills in one half and 7 in the other. He played very great on his CT side. Don't take that away from him, but unfortunately, he couldn't really achieve too much on the T side, and 10-5 to 16-12, only 2 rounds for NRG and 11 straight for the Renegades. Well, not a straight, but 11 for the Renegades.
There was 8 rounds straight in a row, so that was where it really turned around. And I'd say as well, it wasn't just Fugly's fault. A lot of it was, I think NRG definitely needed to step up as a unit, and that's what it felt like to me on the CT side for Renegades. Sure, JKS, huge with the AWP, Adder, locking down the B side, but so many rounds, you know, we saw Uber, we saw Azza, we saw the rest of them just go in with 1 kill apiece. So all of them just chimed in and just did their job, where it just felt like on NRG, it was just, you know, Fugly was just going huge, massive man mode on CT side, and the T side, when he ran out of steam, there was no one else who stepped up, and we were looking towards Peter as well as Breezy to do the job. They weren't able to come on this time. So
yeah, Peter and Breezy had a bit of a quiet one, which is not the greatest for their team. They're usually the players we look at. I mean, the last games that they played, or more recent games that they've played, especially in the series against, I believe it was Optic, Breezy went nuts. He had a very, very good game. Peter was there with him. They played really, really well. This time against Renegades, despite a massive CT side from Fugly, they were pretty quiet, and it was just not enough to get them across the line.
Yeah, I mean, we always go back to the CT side. We're looking at problems with NRG's CT train when they were up against another team, that I believe it was Immortals, where they lost train. They had a great start on their T side, and then on the CT side, they fell apart. Same problems. None of their players stepped up. I guess it was their T side this time. None of the players really stepped up, and as a result, they fell flat. So it feels like NRG, when they have a couple of members playing, they have to have, you know, at least 2 or 3 playing well. That's what it felt like Renegades. You can always just rely on JKS. Like, when has JKS ever let the team down? It just feels like it's more of a, the enemy played really well, as opposed to JKS played really poorly.
Because there was problems on the T sides of both teams in that match, but looking at JKS on the T side, of course, he had a pretty quiet half, as did the rest of his team, as that tends to happen when you get 10-5'd, but he still had his good rounds. For example, he was hitting the shot, going into danger, and nailing a really tight angle headshot on Peter every time he went for it. And that consistency is there. Even if his team can't deliver, even if he can't personally get any more than 1 kill in the round, he was still there, hits the headshot every single time. And that's the sort of consistency that JKS brings to his team, and that's the sort of thing that will really help them out. If you can have one guy, even if it's one-dimensional and just, I'm going to go one spot, I'm going to hit this shot, that's it. If he can do that every single round, you can start to work off that. And it's that thing where JKS is just such a stable player, and he did much better on the CT side, as they all did. It was both teams looking a little bit flustered on their T sides, but eventually Renegades came away with the win.
Well, unfortunately, we do have a little bit more of a server wait, just waiting for a new server to be assigned, but we'll be back after a short break. It is going to be Renegades up against NRG.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the ESL Pro League. Not long of a wait. I've heard that the match is going to go live very shortly after the server update, so that's always great to hear. I think Brainstorm is ready to get into it. I think we all are, so... But looking towards Renegades, I mean, you were predicting NRG to take a 2-0. That has to change now, so are you willing to still say NRG have what it takes to take another victory, or do you think Renegades have enough momentum to roll forward towards another win on Mirage?
My initial 2-0 prediction was pretty much just based off the fact that NRG is sitting in 4th. They've been playing well so far in the Pro League, and it was a more objective one. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to be subjective. I'm an Australian. I've got to support the Aussie boys. Going to switch over to a 2-0 for Renegades. But it's not only national pride coming in there. Given how they played, sure, everyone's T-sides were weak. But Renegades was admittedly better. It was 5 rounds on theirs versus 2 on the side of NRG. So I think Renegades can do it coming in towards Mirage. It's always been a good map for them, of course. It's one of those ones of... It's part of what we would dub the Oceanic Standard, really, which is that, Dust 2, which is now gone, and Cache. Those maps that are more just aim duel, a little bit more puggy in nature. Australian teams usually play pretty well on those, so I think Renegades should be okay coming into this one. They've played Mirage twice so far in the Pro League. They lost it to Cloud9 16-6 and won it against Selfless 16-8, so 50-50 record in the Pro League at least, but it's a map that they should be pretty comfortable on.
Mirage not being played by NRG a single time in the Pro League. So, have to see what they have. They have to lift their T side. That was their biggest weakness last time. CT side looks pretty decent. They've got to continue the good form, make sure they have enough rounds to work with as Renegades. Will start on the T side as Breezy. Going to be challenging mid almost immediately. Great hops out a window. And here come the T attack. Breezy under some pressure. It will back off as the rest of Renegades look to pincer off the A side.
Still straight into connect, taking the fight against Peter. Az are actually going to steal that kill. Still fully blind, charges straight through the smoke. There's 2 players here waiting for this push as Breezy goes down as well. Marky and CT has to fall back on low HP. Atta with the USP has picked up Daps.
Had a big round.
Az are playing well. No, Atta and Az, they sound similar, but not quite the same as Atta finds himself 3 kills there. I was going to mention, I liked the calm on Breezy. Being challenged at short, takes a few measured shots and falls back rather than spamming all of his bullets away, but doesn't make a difference as Renegades get a very nice pistol round out there. The buy comes straight out for the good old UMPs. 1 AK onto Adder, and with that 3K, why not? Pistols out for the NRG guys. No utility. Single flashbang on Peter as he's saving for that AWP.
Adder looking to continue his good form that he carried over from Cobblestone on the CT side. As Az is going to make early contact with Daps. JKS is taking down Peter at Palace, and Renegades, very simple attack on towards the A side. But actually, Marky and Breezy both picking up 1 apiece. It's still an Azra fallen, but Adder's able to take down 1 more, and Fugly does manage to take the AK-47 off the hands of Adder. But Ubik will clean up with the final kill. It was a bit of a scrappy round, but Renegades do manage to come up on top, losing only 3 UMPs. They're not going to be too perturbed about losing 3 SMGs. I've never used the word perturbed before.
I was just about to say, perturbed is a really nice word.
It actually is. It just doesn't roll off the tongue very well, though.
Perturbed. Yeah.
It doesn't roll off the tongue. Even
no,
though
it doesn't.
It does fit the context well. It doesn't roll off, and it makes me want to use another word instead, but NRG going to be on the eco.
Welcome to the life of casters, by the way. Technical word analysis to see what flows smoothly.
It's linguistics.
It is.
It is a word roller coaster. We want you there with the ride, with the emotions.
The flow.
Just like the tide.
Speaking of flow, Renegades looking to flow into this round as well. Fugly just got obliterated. Goodbye. Peeks out into mid, spots 3 players, and gets completely deleted for his trouble. Azza with the long-range UMP gets one, has all of the players here. We'll not have to check sandwich, it's only Breezy left. Azza coming in over the top. We'll get the kill. They lose JKS. Azza, though, will be able to grab that AK. So, no real loss there. They had a bunch of AKs and a couple UMPs. The AKs all stay up. Azza buys the 5th. The guns will come out for NRG, but it's not full rifles from them. Marky's going to be stuck on the FAMAS. Does have a lot of utility to back that thing up. Peter, glass cannon AWP. Can work, especially playing aggressive towards. Looks like he's going to go for the connector peek into mid. Try and catch the T's off guard. Big flash over the top. The Molotov is there, but it lands low. It's only going to be used still a challenging mid, though. The rest of the Renegades moving over towards B.
Yeah, so early Molotov and pressure coming out from Renegades towards City Connector means that Stiller can ever so slowly creep his way forward towards CD Connector and try to find the off angle towards Peter and might be able to. Oh, but he's going to be caught off guard by Breezy. But the attack begins on the B site at the same time as Stiller did try to make an opportunity, and Adder's going to open up on the B site. Only Fugly. Any resistance. That is a great Molotov from Renegades. It will deny a lot of early pressure from NRG towards Market. And Breezy has managed to make his way towards B apps. Uber has to hold this off.
Uber, though, full HP. Waiting for this peek, and Breezy...
They're saving.
He's aware of it. Breezy's out. He is just going to escape from Uber. The timing going to be so close, but Breezy will make it away. JKS takes out Peter in the meantime. The AWP lost for NRG. Not exactly sure where that kill was. So the AWP most likely not recoverable. Yeah, it looks like JKS just waiting there on the body. Breezy could catch out Uber here. He's found himself tucked into this corner of the ramp. Uber, though, going to go the other way. These two players so close to each other. Uber comes back and lands the headshot. Breezy's out of the round. The gun is gone. And only a FAMAS and an M4 even save for NRG as Renegades go up 4-0.
Big misplay coming out from Breezy. Just taking out his knife. It's a nice knife, but...
Gotta check it out, man.
When you're in an isolated position where you're not sure where Renegades are going to be storming out of, or just even slowly crawling out of, you've got to keep the AK-47 up. And that does cost, because he hasn't meandered around and realized that he should bring the AK-47 back. But that's just given enough time for Uber to just catch on, slowly check out his angles, and get the kill. So NRG already falling 4-0. It's not over for them, but every single round that Renegades can build up momentum in their T side will just inflict further pain on NRG CT side.
Will indeed. So CT's now looking to try and get themselves around on the board. They've already lost a lot of health from Breezy. 3 pistols here for them as well. Marquis and there we go. Dap's gonna need to do the work, and they both get kills, just as I said their names. So Uber and Ada go down. JKS should get a pretty easy cleanup here on the low HP player in front of him. Will take out Breezy with a crisp headshot. Peter, though, on the lurk. Could catch out JKS if he's not ready for it, but a 4-on-3. The Renegades do have the guns, they do have the time. They've got to make this work, though.
Looks like they're slowly pincering off A side, but as you mentioned, Peter was able to make his way towards A ramp. He will be able to get the pick on towards JKS. Both members now trying to barrel up short. Fugly holding close to the CZ. Estilla says no, and will take some damage from the M4, but he will be able to get out alive no longer, though. Marky locking down the B site. It's off to Azza. 1-on-3. This round has gone favorably for NRG. They just got to do a little bit more work to hold it off. Azza just dancing around the archway. Will be pushing forward. Has not spotted out Peter, who does make a chance shot. Marky, his shoulder was exposed, and Dap's already low. Knows that one is towards short, but NRG not pushing out. Azza, if he's able to take down just one more towards short, that's going to be Dap's already on 8 HP. All Azza needs to do is land a single shot. He gets a headshot. He knows where Peter is, and lands another headshot. NRG just jumping the gun a little bit. Had to play a little bit better with that with the low HP player on Daps. So in the end, NRG did a lot of hard work, but Renegades able to bring it back for a 1-on-3.
I love how calm Azir is there as well. Knows where that last player is and just taps along on the headshot line. Doesn't overcommit for a long spray. Just holds the taps, waits for the pick to come in. And indeed it will. So Renegade's going to pick up the 5th off the back of that very well played clutch from Azza. Peter throwing a smoking underpass to both cover him from there and allow him to fall back through that if he gets pressured from bottom mid.
Is it a one-way smoke?
Might be, actually. I haven't seen that one before, but Ustillo spots him out, does the damage, knows where he is, and Adder on the entry finds one, almost a second, but Marquis trades out 2. 3-on-2 situation right now. Peekaboo, Peter. Uber's in his face. Actually, no, it wasn't Uber. She's still up close, but Uber gets the kill regardless. Fugly now in the 1-on-3. We saw a clutch last round. Maybe not seeing one again as Ustillo times the peak perfectly and lands the headshot. Renegades starting off 6-0 in the second map.
NRG most likely going for pistols. Probably by the next round, they may need to call early tactical pause. They're in serious danger of letting their CT side completely blow out. Renegades almost winning the half. Barring a severe misplay coming out this round, Renegades should be going up 7-0. The only round where it's looked uncomfortably close for them has been the round where Azza had to play the 1-on-3 clutch. Whereas it's been pretty one-sided ever since then. Renegades have just been driving the advantage forward, where they just go, we don't need to even use a mid-smoke. That's just where they just go, all right, NRG, we're not respecting you mid-hold. We're just going to charge straight out. It's still round after round, not punished for taking mid control by himself. And Renegades, no utility used to take mid.
Yeah, which means they still have so much to work with later into the round. They've still got 4 Molotovs, 5 smokes, bunch of flashbangs. They're looking very, very calm and collected on Mirage. This one is just an eco round, so sure, maybe not one that NRG has too much to really look at. Fugly on this peak timing could catch out one, but instead going to be spotted out by Azza and will fall back. So this round, maybe not too much we can really expect from NRG, but even on the gun rounds, admittedly there was a big clutch there from Azza to save that, but even then, Renegades, they're looking pretty calm so far.
On the whole, they're looking more dominant than NRG have been playing on their buy rounds. Renegades rarely dropping members and just making the trades work in their favor. Daps should be able to go one apiece. No, he looks away at the wrong time. That is really the story of NRG in a nutshell so far.
Bad luck.
It's just unlucky. They're looking at the right angles. They look away for the slightest of movements, and they get caught off.
Nearly happened to Azza just there as he pulls out a grenade just as a CT peeks him, but he'll just be waiting around here. The flash comes through. Dodges that one. Is now just waiting for these peeks. One towards ladder room. It's breezy. Should run into Yostillo. One back towards short. Yostillo just waiting around here, looking towards that vent. But the CTs have no business going for this retake.
And they know.
Maybe get some damage, but
they're trying to go for exits.
Exactly.
It's not even working.
No, Yostillo takes down Peter. JKS in CT spawn, I should say, moving through. Yostillo's taking a lot of damage, but Azza's here to clean up breezy. Easy kill for him. Fugly left all alone, has players coming his way. Finds the headshot on JKS. Yostillo is low, shouldn't commit to this one too hard, but Fugly still wants to go and grab that AK. The player in his face has lots of players, finds another kill. So good damage there from Fugly, but we'll get closed out in the end. This time, though, another buy round for NRG, I should say, for the Renegades as well. But NRG now, they've got the AWP out on Peter. He needs to hit that mid pick.
He's had the AWP for 3 rounds now. He's not made an impact barring... Has he even made a kill with the AWP?
I don't think so. And this round, I like that as well. We've said, well, you said last round, Renegades have not been using utility. This time, they see the gun round coming. They suspect the AWP. Throw a smoke straight into mid.
NRG going to be pressure A-ramp early. JKS to hold it off as Dap's going to be going in for the peak alongside with his teammate. And JKS gets one. It is a 1-for-1. NRG early aggression to try to take control of A site. It's going to work out okay. Mark is on 66 as now Renegade's going to be crawling through underpass. Going to be trying to gain window control potentially. Castillo going to be boosted up, and Marky coming forward. Can only lock the back of vent down. Cannot actually isolate jungle. No, gets the kill on Castillo, who overcommits. And this means Renegades now down on towards the 3 and 4. Marky still alive, doing damage. Now on 2 kills. Breezy locking down the A site with Fugly. Look at Fugly's position. He's gone all the way back, and unfortunately Marky is too low to try to make a dent towards Renegades, as Uber now has locked down the jungle line, and Adder and Azza just waiting for NRG to try to push towards them to get the kills.
Fugly's position, as you said, is going to be so important here. They've actually pushed Uber out into CT, but he has been spotted out. Fugly now, with 45 seconds left, just needs to wait for this bomb to go down, can come in and pinch on the site. It's going to be a difficult plant for RNG. They will find the spot that's going to be safe from Palace, but their positions, Azza spots out. Fugly now knows that's a possibility, but in a 3-on-2, the Renegades have to play this so perfectly. That said, though, Azza lines up one, but Adder's left in the 2-on-1, has to clutch this out. The bomb is planted for him. He's got a Molotov to throw into that thing as well, but it looks like Peter's ready. Holding the angle, he's going to push in now, taps the bomb, holds it. Adder just going to throw the Molotov and fall back. Smart play, doesn't need to pick. The CTs now have to push him, and in they come. Flashbang up over the top. Adder's waiting. He's played this one to perfection. They had to jump on this bomb. The defuse is there. The Molotov is there. He's got to go for it. Goes for the jumping shot and taps out. Well, not even a jumping shot, jumping peak. Taps out Peter. Beautiful play from Adder to get the clutch. The Renegades stay flawless.
I was going to say, just positional play from Adder, you won't be able to find more beautiful play. And there were signs of Adder being able to do this. Even though his stats have been relatively on the poor side for Renegades, on Nuke, you saw signs that he had just this ability to have this game sense to know where to position himself. He'd go no kills whatsoever in the CT half of Nuke because Renegades didn't really need him. And now we're in a position where he can finally start opening up. His aim's converting for him. He's now getting these picks. He's getting confidence, and this is a scary thought.
It is. There was a lot of questions asked about it when he was first announced because historically Renegades for such a long time, so close it around cleanly, Renegades have been an all-Australian roster for such a long time, or all-Oceanic roster. When they brought in Ada, I know I asked questions. I know a lot of Australian fans were thinking, we don't have the Australian roster anymore. How's this going to work out? Ada had a bit of a slow start slotting into Renegades, but now he's really finding his place. He's finding those sneaky kills. He does well on the CT side, locking down angles. We saw a lot of that on Cobble. And he's playing the clutches really well as well. He's showing himself to be a player with good aim, good game sense, really nice positioning too. Could be a good fit for these guys if he stays with them. Of course, he is officially just a stand-in at the moment, but as of right now, I'm liking him as part of Renegades.
Well, he has been doing work in Cobblestone, able to lock down the B side, now doing work on the T side as well. Fugly's managed to make his way close in towards B amps, and a lot of AK bullets being fired his way, and JKS nearly takes him out. Fugly does manage to get back alive on 5 HP. Peter's taking the AWP towards B amps to try to find an angle through the smoke, but it's not going to work out. A lot of early utility used from both sides. But in the end, I feel like it still favors Renegades, as they now just back off towards the A side instead. Molotov towards jungle side, Breezy. He can do a lot of work, but the push coming forward. Azza still gets the headshot.
JKS left on just 15 HP, but beautiful work from Azza. We need to go in for this peak. NRG though, they're just giving up mid so freely. Renegades
it's not
are free
that
to move.
just giving it up. It's so
Renegades
hard.
are taking it.
It's hard for them to hold it, where Peter, he's just instantly smoked out. They don't have enough utility or backup. They're losing B-side early control to rotate members across. Marky, though, very least, getting a clean kill into Ustill and able to back off. That will be critical, because remember, JKS is low already, and Renegades don't have much time, 25 seconds left.
They have to move pretty quickly now. Marky Flash completely out, surrounded on all sides. This is a beautiful pinch from the Renegades. Fugly and CT left on just 5 HP. If he can stop the bomb planter, he has a hope in this round, but not going to worry about that situation. Going to plant the bomb very safely from the hands of Uber and fall all the way back as well. Fugly has no business getting any further into this round. Renegades, the post-plant positions are set. One going into Palace, one playing back in A main. Azza still in the back lines. Fugly could maybe get this clutch if they let him, but the bomb is planted around the other side of the box from him. Uber's peeking it, lands the one bullet required, and even if Uber had fallen there, the other two were set in beautiful position. So well played from Renegades. 10-0. And just to touch on my point from mid before, as I feel I should clarify that, it's not so much that NRG are giving up mid as it is they're being forced out of it. Either Renegades are coming in and entering them very efficiently, or, as you said, they're getting smoked out, they're getting flashed out. Renegades, they weren't using utility at first, Now they are. And NRG are just having such a difficult time holding it. Even now, Breezy going for this peak already has a Molotov on his feet. It's not quite spread far enough, but Renegades just doing such a good job playing the map control.
Well, they are stacked towards the A site where NRG have also stacked with pistols, but even then, NRG, if they take the next 5 in a row, Renegades still on double digits. Renegades, every single round right now is just icing on the cake. They're looking to just drive the nail in even further. They just went, no, we just want to finish this map off, and there's the first entry. Daps, who was trying to push for information. We've seen Daps do that before on Cole. It's not going to work out this round, and Peter's been spotted out. Hazza going in for the kill, and Hazza's been having a great game so far.
Having a whale of a time.
Adolf also joining in the party potentially. Will be able to eventually get the kill on Fugly. And now it's all up to poor Barky by himself. Isolated jungle. Marky
has a Molotov he has to push through. Takes a lot of damage for doing so, but there is T players absolutely everywhere. They're behind him, in front of him, on both sides. Ada spots out the shoulder there. Goes for the cheeky AK inspect.
11
gets
rounds.
The kill. That's not even 11 rounds, because 11 rounds is huge if you can get the 11-4, but this is 11 unanswered rounds. NRG have not been able to find anything. They're
2 rounds where
completely
they
shut
close.
out. And they got clutched both times. One from Azza, one from Ada. It's all the two-syllable A names today.
Or you could just say the beginning of the alphabet. The end of NRG potentially on this map, because it's...
That was nice. I don't like that.
It's just NRG have just been unable to find an answer. I really want them to. They've got the caliber of players to stand up and push Renegades, but Renegades just... It's like watching the plow. It's just Renegades are just going... They're just
Nah, guys, we got this.
They're just like riding their horses just straight forward, just rolling over NRG right now. And NRG's got no energy behind this play.
Yeah, they just can't find anything at all. I mean, Renegades so far in Pro League, as we said, a 50-50 on Mirage. They did take it against Selfless. They lost it against Cloud9, which Cloud9, I believe, in second position, looking very, very strong. Fair enough, but if Renegades can continue to play Mirage like this, I don't think there's going to be many teams in the league that'll let them play it too much more.
It's just more of Renegades have hit their stride.
Absolutely. This is going fantastically for them right now.
They're winning one-on-ones. That's all there is. They're just winning the aim deals, rolling forward. NRG are not winning these aim deals.
No, NRG, they've got a few where it's worked out well for them, but most of the time, the map control from Renegades also being excellent doesn't help. We saw the one thing that sticks out in my mind is their A site take. If they don't take it quickly, they take it slowly, but they take it from everywhere. They boost a player windows. They can come in through jungle. They come in through connector. They come in through a main. They take it from 3 different angles, and most of them are from 180 degrees. So the CTs pretty much always have someone behind them once they lose that first player. And it's something that's so difficult to adapt to. This round from the Renegades, bit of a change up. A couple players over towards B. Could just move through underpass, take A once again. But the bomb still over, waiting in A main. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Uber spots out a pixel of Fugly there. Misses the shot, but that's actually, it was Marky, not Fugly, I believe. Oh, no, it was
No, Fugly was spotted out. Marky is trying to push in.
There we go.
NRG calling a tactical pause at 11-0. It may have come too late. Uber just... You saw how Renegades spotted that informational play. Just go, look, NRG, they know they've lost mid every single round, so they're going to stack it. NRG that round. They stacked mid. Look how much utility was used. They don't have a single smoke grenade left. This is a very easy execution for the A site, onto the A site for Renegades. Just some early damage done from the Molotov, but Dabs can't do anything. Just shut down by Uber immediately, and Peter has to play to the edge of the smoke. Nearly lands a shot towards Ada, but it's in the end, it's Marky who's able to do the damage. And even though all energy is stacked towards CD connector, all someone needs to do is bring that bomb back safely, and Renegades go, no, we'll just plant it back at default. Peter.
That was close.
You'd normally think Peter would be able to land those shots. Doesn't work out, and look at the flank coming the long way. It's Azza. Pain Train's coming behind it. NRG not going to have fun with this.
He's just waiting. Azza, he's played these flanks so many times. Spots out one. Not going to wait for the kills to come his way this time, just committing to it, and the kills come in. NRG now in a 3-on-2, make that a 1-on-3. JKS has to go huge, and finally a round for NRG. Still look dangerous for them, but they do get one back.
Yeah, I mean, Renegades probably just jumping the gun a little bit. We had Azza in a great position. In the end, he just jumped the gun, tried to take the first duel where you normally expect Azza to kind of just wait a little bit more. All right, there's 3 there. Bang, bang, bang. So NRG do take 1 round on the board. Good retake on the back of taking out Ada in the plant position and just playing the 4-on-4. Better stuff after the tactical pause, but still a momentum in the favor of Renegades. What are NRG going to do in this round?
Look at that Renegades economy too. 1 player on around the $3,500 mark. The rest up all around $10,000. And given that they're not investing in orbs, their economy's set. They can drop AKs all day.
Both pushing underpass this round, so they know it's not going to be a B-side take. They know it's going to be A. But what can they do when NRG have just... Even though NRG have this information, now it's up to Daps as well as Peter to hold off this push. As Azza just comes in with Ada, going the 1-for-1 trade in the site. There's no one there. Smoke's not even being used on the side of Renegades. There's the first flashbang to just buy some more time. But there is a flank coming through from the side of NRG, so this is dangerous. NRG should be able to get this round, surely. Uber though and JKS able to get 2 kills. JKS now coming from behind. Fugly does punish him, and now Breezy. Uber, so sharp. Breezy last minute standing there, don't know where he is. He might be able to take down Uber at the very least, but won't be able to take down anymore. You just have that feeling that he's isolated out, and Renegades know of this potential.
This is such a hard position. Look at that first kill, but it's a little bit sloppy. He drops down, actually gets Ada. This is doable for him now. He still is playing from the stairs and lands the headshot. So 1 round answered back by the Renegades. No money for NRG. They can force this one, but if they do, they're going to have to force into both this round and the next. And Renegades could potentially get themselves a 14-1. The 16-0 dream is dead. The 16-1 could still be alive.
It's just Renegades looking to clean matters up accordingly. And I was feeling, okay, no, Breezy has a chance in that round after getting the pick on towards Ada. Had a chance, but it's still just able to find the off timing, which is the story. Once again, Renegades just been able to find all these timing picks. Now, NRG trying to get aggressive towards a ramp. Ada just playing passively. He has JKS in support for Palace. There's a flashbang, and Adder will fall back. He's been flashed out and he goes, all right, there's a couple towards A ramp. These guys want to get hot and heavy, but I don't really want to. I'll just fall back and wait for my teammate to back me up.
It's not my kind of thing. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm going to fall back. Speaking of falling back, the CTs too, a little bit of aggression. They're going to get away from this one here. And now, if NRG can't win this round, their priority has to be Marquis M4. They're going to need that because their money is garbage right now. They really can't afford to buy in the next round. If they can keep that gun alive, they can get another buy like this going on. If the M4 falls and can't be retrieved, it's pretty much going to be no rifles in the next round. The dream for them, of course, this round, to win it relatively cleanly, take 3 AKs through, or well, 2 AKs through plus the M4. 3 would be the dream, so 4 guns alive in total. Maybe not with the way that Renegades have been playing, but still a chance as always. But look at how careful Renegades are being as well.
They need to get a move on though. Fugly is in Palace, and Renegades do know. They've given up Palace control and gone, okay, potentially one here, and Fugly is now pushing for information. Smoke's coming across. The bomb, where is it going towards? 23 seconds. They have to just attack the B site, and you can see that the fake has not been drawn out. NRG going back towards the B site. They can hear the members cutting across, and Peter, he's been blinded out firstly, and does manage to get the Peter 50 shot.
Whoa.
Gets the second one towards JKS. That's not something you see every day, and NRG might be able to take this round out as Peter goes huge to the AK-47. No time for a stealer to plant. This has gone a little bit wrong for Renegades. Taking too long, and Breezy. I thought Breezy was able to get the kill.
No guns saved for NRG.
They get the round, though. They
do.
get the round.
And they can buy into this a little bit off that, but they would have wanted a couple of AKs there, so great damage to bring it back for Renegades. They don't get the round, but the buy from NRG, it's basically nothing. They've got a Scout, 2 M4s, 2 UMPs. It's better buy than they had last round. They managed to make that work, but you can't help but think they would have loved some AKs there. They can still do this, though. 12-3, it's better than nothing.
Renegades, where I felt like that round fell apart for them was where they lost control of the sites. They lost control of mid. They never had presence towards mid. And we saw NRG. As soon as the smokes came over towards A site from Mastillo and he started running back, they weren't sold. Fugly was at Palace. There's no one Palace. Just watch towards A ramp. There's only one member there. Adatho will take down Breezy towards City Connector. Daps trying to follow up with the damage done earlier by Peter's Scout, but not going to find any members. Renegades now taking control of mid. This should be a much more cut and dry round as Az is going to sneak his way through smoke and try to create an opportunity towards the A side. Sneaking a little bit too far, decides to go on the stairwell instead. But it's not even needed because JKS gets another kill. Fugly's already pushed towards the end of Palace. And flashbang hits Azza.
The big thing about that position now is the CT should have an idea that there's another player through connector now. They've got to know, but that position is, or was, unknown. So if he didn't get the kill, sure, he could have just waited there. Of course, he's now going to move and try and find a better post-plant position, but look at Renegades. They have completely locked this out. He still doesn't spot the head of Fugly. Gun model might have been in the way. Either way, the kill does come in. So 2-on-3 right now. NRG in with a chance. Needs to try and find these kills, though, and all of the Renegades players sitting well back in cover, and Daps, 19 HP, 1-on-3. Falls to the 450 damage. All-up headshot. Overkill is fun. 13-2. Renegades over NRG, looking to close this one out relatively quickly.
So you're changing your prediction around. Well, you already did. Anyway,
I already did. I did that earlier.
You're a sellout.
Hey, I sold out before the 13-2, so...
Fair enough, you did.
You got to sell out early, man.
Look, NRG can still come back.
They can.
They can. It's just a long slog, pissed around absolute necessity, and Renegades need to severely drop the ball.
Yeah, the other thing is as well, on that last map, NRG's CT side was their good side. Their T side was weak. We just saw Renegades have a cracking T side, and NRG now has to answer on their own terrorist side of things, which wasn't so great on Cobble. Admittedly, that could just be a Cobble thing, but it's a long way to go. Coming back from a 13-2 on any side, on any map, is a long way to go. And NRG, if they can win the pistol, I think they've got a few rounds in them, but I see this one at most being a 16-8 for Renegades. I'll give NRG 5 rounds.
I was going to say, is it reverse day? Because Cobble is generally known as a more predominantly T-sided map. I do see teams now starting to play on the CT side, so potentially the bias has swung back towards the defender side once again. But on Mirage, no argument about it. It should be a easier map for defenders to hold. And Renegades just looking to take the pistol into anti-ecos. There is presence coming towards mid, and it's going to be Az that's going to be tested out. He was the danger man on the T side alongside with Adder. All the rest of Renegades did all chime in, as Estillo needs to be careful of being peeked from different angles. He is isolated out. Az nearly gets his head ripped off. Does manage to back out in time, and now Estillo does get punished for peeking out. Breezy opening up. This is the Breezy we needed to see earlier on. Is it too late? We'll have to find out. As Uber going 1 for 1, but it's not enough because, well, it's up to a 2-on-4 for the rest of Renegades to navigate their way back in.
JKS shooting away, really wants a kill here, but now needs to find all 4. Will eventually close out on Fugly. 51 HP, they know where he is. He's running low on ammo. He has just 4 bullets. He's got nothing really. No time, no bullets, no health. Will fall. So NRG will take the pistol round with 3 players left alive. It's a good start for them to get back into this game. They can now buy some SMGs, start to establish that economy, grind out those anti-ecos. The Renegades will be buying some pistols, 5.7s and deagles across the board, with the exception of JKS, who might be saving for an AWP early on. Looks like that will indeed be the plan, but it's not a full investment from any of the Renegades guys. They've got...
Nope, they've
actually,
invested.
it is. There we go. There's armor in those deagles now as well. So they haven't spent all their money, but they've spent a fair chunk of it. And NRG, if they can just play the good angles with these SMGs. They've got 2 AK-47s as well. They want that long-range advantage. They don't want to get deagled at a very long range. They want to be able to have the advantage. And it looks like they're pairing up the rifles with the SMG. It's smart play from them. Ada does spot out a lot towards Zaps, but being able to hit that shot is not easy. Pressure comes in. He is going to take out Daps, though. That's only the Mac-10 gone. The AKs and the UMP is still alive. Ada, though, is calling for his teammates. Az is going to hit a deagle shot. Not like this, NRG. You got to start getting some kills as Azza is going insane. JKS finds 1, 2. The bomb is dropped. Ada moving up. We'll be able to find an AK-47 if he goes in here a little bit further. Fugly has to try and clutch out a 1-on-5. Still a minute left to play with. Going to go straight for the peak. Ada's here with the AK, though. Uber's picked up the other one. This is completely fallen apart for NRG.
Just clean headshot after headshot after headshot. And Azza just holding towards short and getting 2 more headshots.
Doming people.
That's pretty much the story of the, I guess, NRG right now. Fugly trying his best. We'll be able to get 1 pick, but look at Estillo coming in from the lurk. Oh, Fugly's doing damage. He can still win this. He's got time to rotate back towards the A site. He's managed to retrieve the C4. He's going to rotate the long way around. He can still win this. If Renegades don't... They're isolated towards 2 1-on-1s. It could be all over.
They do have the AK-47s, but there's no armor behind those. And Azza, his deagle not going to help him this time. Fugly making this 1-on-5 possible with 3 kills already. 2 AKs left up. Aim punch going to be a severe issue. If Fugly can find the first shot, it could be all over for Ada and Uber. He's got 10 seconds, though. Really has to plant this bomb now. Peak CT. He gets 1 more. He's brought this from a 1-on-5 into a 1-on-1. Has to plant, though. Uber's going to be here.
Oh, no.
Unfortunate for Fugly. The dream was alive. It does eventually get shut down. Renegade is saved by Uber. But, oh, man, I believed.
I believed as well, Oz. If he's able to get a couple of easy picks where Renegades gave up 3 kills, he was able to maneuver that a mile. He was even able to take down Ada with the correct play, and he was so healthy. All he had to do was plant safe, but he didn't know where the last member is. He didn't think that Uber would come through CD connector so late, and Uber, well, just comes out, surprises him, and very easy headshot afterwards. Even if Fugly got off, he wouldn't have been able to plant the bomb. No time left. And Renegades now 1 round closer to winning it after taking the pistol round. NRG just trying to stave off defeat with the force buy.
I feel so bad for Fugly. He got so close and just that missed, not even a missed plant, just a plant where he couldn't have known any better. He played that one to absolute perfection and the rotate from the CTs just didn't work out in his favor. It was so, so close. Uber does manage to close it out, but unfortunately for Fugly, that round's over. Now he has to try and make it work in this one. He's again going to have the rifle here off the cash he got from those 4 UMP kills, so he can try and make something happen. He could. He's been closed out, though. Marky does take down Estillo. The pistol's trying to come in. Could we see another eco round going the way it shouldn't? As Breezy, with a clean headshot, removes JKS. Azza and Uber now had to try and make this one happen. Azza going to find a UMP kill. On to Daps. There's some damage done, but Uber's going to have to do the bulk of it. He gets flashed out. We're moving in. It's time as well, but goes down. Azza has to do it all.
Yeah, he's just going to back off and save. Good double peek coming on the side of NRG, so some life yet. It's not over. 14-3, it should tick over towards 14-4. NRG just struggling to stay alive, but they're able to do work. And if Renegades, if they do misstep round after round after round, like we saw against Fugly, even though they're able to take the victory, severe misstep to allow Fugly back in towards a 1-on-1. Now with 2 AKs and a UMP saved on the side of NRG. Well, even if they're not able to take the victory, some confidence points would be good.
Would be lovely. So the Renegades now not going to be able to buy here. Azza will have that saved M4. He's dropped a Tech 9 for one of his teammates as well, but the pistol's going to be all that Renegades can do here. So NRG should be able to take this round. It's not a done deal though, as we've seen 2 anti-ecos lost in both the last 2 rounds. Renegades got their pistol win, and NRG, with the help of an AK, admittedly, came straight back into it with their own. Now it's going to be Renegades in the pistols. Taps from Peter, just missing their mark on Uber. But if NRG aren't careful, if Renegades take this, they're straight on 15.
And you'd hope that they'll be able to take this. They're using the right smoke grenades as well. Uber, if he times the shot. Oh my goodness, Uber, the crosshair was on. And he's just going to sneak his way towards the left side of window to see if he can look through the edge of the smoke grenade. Azza has been spotted out by Marky. He's going to be spraying through. Barely any damage done, but the M4 has been dropped in a Stillo. You can't leave a grenade out and expect Fugly to not punish you. Uber is just being roasted alive, but he will be eventually put down by the AK-47 bullet. And Ada just trying to find an opportunity, but NRG not going to grant it. It's only Marky falling. Not really the worst result that they really could have, I guess. They could have lost it. That's the worst result. Renegades just going for basic pistols. They're looking to contest the next true round in the buy round. For NRG, well, just building up a bit of bank, but they know that as soon as they lose a single round, it may just be over. They want to bring it back. They still have the ability to bring it back. If Renegades don't patch up the flaws in their plays, they could be exploited. As a result, NRG, we could be seeing something amazing. We could be. I'm not saying it's a definite.
Could. You just have to be always careful with those calls. But they've started off this round the right way as Fugly, Daps, and Marky all find rifle kills. Uber coming in on the flank. Would love to catch out Daps, be able to grab himself that gun, but the entire NRG force pretty much is going to be on this B site for him to contest with. He's already been spotted out as well. Daps just tapping away. We'll take out Uber. JKS going to come in from the exact same angle. Can upgrade to that 5-7, but whether or not to be able to do anything with it, I suspect not. Daps will come in, spray him down, get the wallbang, and land the 3K. 14-6. Renegades starting to, or I should say NRG starting to make this one doable.
Still a long way to slog through. It's just not enough buffering space. Just if they had even a 6-9 CT half, 6 rounds in CT, they'd have so much more space to play with. But alas, it is not to be. It could have been 9-12, 9-13, somewhere around the lines where they could have had a bit more space, but Renegades, buy round coming out. No AWP on the hands of anyone, just M4s. Decent amount of utility to back up a defensive effort. NRG gonna have to rely on the AK entries of Breezy and Marky, who've been doing quite well on the T side, as well as the AWP and Peter. Peter's had a very quiet game. He wants to step up. He wants to make his presence known on the server.
That's a really nice grenade stack there with the Molotov and the HE going towards underpass as well. Does good damage to Breezy. He's down on 63 HP, but the T's got in mid control here. Got a player at top mid behind the boxes, one peeking from the right-hand side from top mid, 2 in underpass. As they're playing around this connector, trying to play over a smoke. Looking for someone to peek in from underpass, but Breezy now starting to move. The Molotov's there to force Uber back. Completely blocks out his vision as well. He can see absolutely nothing through those flames. They will be fading in just a second though. Pop flash, not going to bounce high enough, I don't think. That one's better though. The smoke's there to deny him vision. As the T's to move in towards connector and get themselves out onto the A side.
Yeah, so just denial of, oh, that's a bit of a miscommunication. Uber smoking up the CD connector as soon as Estillo did incendiary grenade, so that will give NRG a little bit more space to work. As Uber has spotted out Dabs, who's dancing around the edge. AK for M4, but Uber just a little bit sharp, able to get the kill, and Azza now coming quite close towards short. Has spotted out Marky, but Uber doesn't even need anyone else because he's just getting headshot after headshot. And Marky, what a turnaround, but Estillo and JKS on the A site hold firm, and Renegades resolute, now on match point.
Finally got themselves there. It was a bit of a grind, but they do manage to get there. JKS going to be back on the AWP this time. Ada going to be fine on the M4. He's been very, very good with that so far, so why not? On the side of NRG, they've got a full buy as well. 4 AKs and the AWP out on Peter, but this is last chance for them. They need 9 rounds from this point just to go to overtime, and that would be a bit of a marathon of a map, and I'm not sure NRG have it in them. All is not said and done, though. They can still bring this back. JKS waiting in towards mid, but the kills come in. Azza finds one. JKS missing a shot and going for the wallbang. Now as the fallback will just escape with his life there. Fugly going to fall from Yastillo as well. Adder being shot at. Spots out one. Does heavy damage to Peter, but can't get the kill. 3 on 3. Yastillo on just 1 HP. Bomb ready to go down on this B site. JKS does take down Daps in the meantime, but falls immediately to Peter. There's 2 on 2. Low HP on 2 players in the server here. Uber has to do the majority of the work. Same with Breezy.
Yep, as looks like Castillo is going to be entering from short. Has managed to sneak his way through the edge of the smoke grenade, so he's still safe, and Breezy is not spying the line, but Peter has been spying the line. Now transitioning his aim back on towards window. And Uber has split out Breezy, but Breezy pulling out the headshot on 22 HP. NRG, once again, this time a 1-on-1 going in their favor. NRG still hanging on for dear life, forcing Renegades on towards another eco.
That could not have been closer.
They could have.
Okay, they could have been less than 1 HP.
Could have been 1 HP, Molotov flying through the air. Breezy getting taken down, but the Molotov
Yes,
lands on the bomb with 5.1 seconds left on the timer.
Yep, thanks.
You said it couldn't have been closer. I'm pointing out it could have been closer.
I don't have the patience for this, Kevin. It's too late in the day.
Wait for NRG, because they're playing it patiently and they're getting the kills. And they're still in it.
They are. They're going to use their utility smartly, getting out of Palace or out of a main. Dabs top mid, gets 1 kill. Doesn't manage to land the spray on Yastillo, but he's not going to have time to get the gun there. Adder actually gets traded out immediately. Yastillo does have the AK, but fires 5 bullets, gets sprayed down. Aim punch too much to deal with. Now, if my prediction is to hold true, Renegades need to win this round. I doubt it will. I'm rarely right, but I'd like it to happen.
They are going to go in the eco. Single flashbang, probably early aggression, either mid or A, just to get some map territory, or maybe a gun off an unsuspecting NRG member. Otherwise, going for the buy round win.
Which is fair. In this sort of situation, when you're ahead this many rounds, the last thing you want to do is panic and force buy and just try and get the 1 round you need to close it out. You should really just sit back like Renegades are doing, take a few losses, take a few eco rounds, whatever. We'll be able to come back at them with a full buy and we can worry about closing it out then. They are getting aggressive behind this smoke. Peter going to have to be careful. He has too many angles to check, and the AWP will be recovered by the CTs. At this point, they could just save that one through to the next round. As JKS has fallen in the smoke, Dabs is looking into connector. It's taken down by Azza with the AWP, actually, and Uber spraying through the box does so much damage. Takes down Breezy. It's a 2-on-3. Things are not over yet. The bomb is down. There's no kit or armor on any of the CTs. There's a Molotov on Uber he can use to get in towards the site, but the perfect peek from Marky. Gover commits to the spray. Fugly now has to try and clutch us out. Playing towards A main. Falling back. Molotov comes in. He has to peek behind this. He's going to move. They're ready for him. He's taking so much damage. He gets 1 kill and he will fall. Adder should have time for this to fuse.
Yeah, you're right.
That's going to be it. 16-8. I did it. We made it, Renegades. They win the eco. How many anti-eco wins did we see?
A lot.
Apart from too many.
On the second half, probably about 3. Yeah, second half, about 3 or 4 from both sides. Renegades, well, it should have been their game a lot sooner, in my opinion, but they do manage to do the job, and that's all they're happy with.
Exactly.
Taking the map victory, now going, I believe, 7-6, and potentially going more because it's not over yet, because we have a continuation of the matches. You probably saw from the schedule, it did have continued. And continues, I guess, not the to be continued meme with the music playing.
That's what I was just about to reference, but there you go, you got there. So this is the Renegades versus Liquid game that was paused due to tech issues. I think we're resuming it 14-13 on Nuke. So should be a quick one, unless we go to overtime, at which point we'll be here all day. But that's what we have up next. So Renegades, they win their 2 normal games. They're not done tonight, though.
No, not yet. I mean, against NRG, that was just a dominating T-side performance. I think still still more processes for them to work forward in the next coming weeks. They've still got a lot of tough opposition to face up against.
But they've done well so far because they were originally down 0-6 in Pro League. They've now brought it back to 7-6 in the next half hour. They could make it 8-6. So that's quite the comeback from them, but they're not done yet.
Absolutely. Well, stay here or stay tuned because we are going to be continuing Renegades versus Liquid just after the break.
chance to actually make it into the Pro League, be a professional Counter-Strike player.
That's the thing that Mountain Dew League provides.
Penguin, you know what? If anybody has a shot at 2-0, it's Penguin. Beautiful Counter-Strike. You usually only see that into the professional level of things.
We are one of the youngest team in top 20. Many teams can underestimate us, and we can surprise them with our tactics, show our Polish power.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
It's a one-on-one. Alt versus all, but JDM goes down. Cold Syrup. That's the quad kill. SK gonna pick up a very, very tight round.
Hey future pros, we have a flash for you that should aid in pushing through the monster tunnel on Overpass. This flash should leave your teammates unaffected while the CTs should be blind as heck. To do this flash, line yourself up over the tip of this bottle. Aim over the wall slightly and to the right and then throw the flash. That's it. This should make the Rush B Don't Stop strat work way more in your favor.
Ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
I can't understand people watching somebody play a computer game.
It's still not a sport.
It shouldn't be on a sports network.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ESL One Code! Two big shots in a row, and Phoenix about to bring it back now. All on Nico, trying to see if they can get the defuse, and Nico, oh no, Phoenix! Has to keep Virtus Pro alive. Taco wants closer. AW. He's looking for a third. He's gonna get a hit by headshot again. Oh my god!
You like Nuke? No? Well, here's a common warehouse smoke for you anyway. The lineups for this are nice and easy. It's fairly common AWPers should play from this spot, and this smoke should push them away and force them to relocate. Position yourself over this corner and aim slightly above the metal fixture, and then toss the smoke. Easy. Now you removed one of the 45 different angles that CTs can kill you from.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Matchday number 17 of the ESL Pro League, and we have a bit of unusual, unique circumstances in this match.
It's a best of... it's not even a best of anything. It's just the first person to win 2 or 3 rounds, basically. So
well, it could go into overtime.
It could, at which point it's best of 6. But we're jumping back into the Renegades Liquid game from...
It was a while ago now.
2 weeks ago?
It'd be about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the one that got postponed due to unavoidable tech issues, unfortunately. But that was stopped at 14-13 on Nuke, which is where we're going to resume from. So Renegades, they've got their 2-0. They now have to come back and win another map. I believe it will be for the 2-0 against Liquid. Yeah, they did win the other map. So if they can get this, they'll get the 2-0 off against Liquid. Otherwise, it'll be a 1-1. But it's going to be a close one.
It was a comprehensive victory against Liquid and Cobblestone as well. But to give a bit of context towards the match, it was Renegades. This was the first map they were playing for a very long time up against Liquid. We were going, look, there were some positive signs against Complexity last week where they took the they were 0-6, took the 2-0 against Complexity, just to give a bit of context. So they were able to eventually be, towards the 2-6 and face off against Liquid. We went, all right, positive signs against Complexity. Liquid, different opponent. Taking a look back towards what happened earlier today. I was saying Rush making it was a little bit close on overpass, and the Immortals decides, no, we're going to complete the job cleanly this time, 16-1.
Guess you could say Immortals really rushed through that game.
Hey! On our side, it was Renegades up against NRG and taking the 2-0. Cobblestone looking a little bit shaky, but Mirage really felt like the one-way Renegades train. And unfortunately, NRG do drop the 2 maps. And Renegades will go further up. And the lineups have changed since last time. We know that Renegades have changed out, and Liquid have also changed out one of the players, but it looks like they will be using Pimp, potentially. I am not entirely certain about the rulings, obviously, given the fast-paced changes that this game does make sometimes. where you go, all right, maybe they'll play with Pimp, maybe with someone else, but they will be using Pimp, who has left the lineup. Oh, so Renegades, it is Uber filling in.
And Uber and Ada both had good games in the last series against NRG. They both played fairly well. Of course, Ada, out of the two of them, would have been the standout player for me out of the two stand-ins. He has been with this lineup for a little bit longer, but Uber's certainly no slouch, getting done what he needed to get done. Managed to play well on the CT side, played his angles, did well on the T side, picking up on kills. It was solid performance. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it didn't need to be. He just needed to fill in a solid fifth player for the Renegades, so that the core 3 plus the slightly longer sub of Atta could step up, and step up they did.
Yeah, especially Azza on the T side of Mirage, just absolutely just demolishing his opposition left, right, and center. So coming back on towards Nuke, probably just to give a bit more context as well. I know that you missed most of the match. I was here for a very long time alongside with poor Elfish guy who is now taking a day off. Well deserved, I think, for Elfish. But what happened on Nuke, it was a tight fought map. It was just round to round, anti-ecos being won and lost by both sides. And as we sit at 14-13, if my memory serves me correctly, Renegades just won their force buy. So they just force bought Tech 9s, they rushed down ramps, punished Stanislaw for being the solo holder, rushed straight down towards B site and took a critical round, also resetting the economy of Liquid. But given on how the match was being played 2 weeks ago, tempo, not as big of a thing.
Yeah,
it is difficult for the teams to jump in.
Yeah, it's an awkward situation, really. You don't really normally have this sort of thing where you have to jump in this many rounds into a game. Normally, if there's a pause like this, the teams will just agree, all right, we're not going to play it out. And I think initially Liquid wanted to forfeit and just be like, it's not worth playing out these rounds. Of course, now they are going to be doing that. So jumping back into this, of course, as you said, such a tight fought game back and forth. Both these teams would have been in the mindset of, we got to get them, we can do it. We just got to push this that little bit further to get it across the line. Now it's sort of, all right, we got to play it again. We got to start afresh, even though we're that many rounds in. But Renegades only need 2 to close it out, and the first one at least with the low buy on Liquid, in theory, on paper, it should be around for them, but given how the rest of the game went with all the anti-ecos being won, or anti-ecos being lost, ecos being won, it could be close.
Renegades will be on the T side with Uber filling in. Could mean potentially disastrous for Renegades. They were playing with Yan before. Not sure if Uber is up to date with the strategies that Renegades do use on the T side. And if he's not unable to get the kill so far, we were talking about how he was able to chime in and do well. But if he's unable to chime in, unable to get a couple of picks, then it could go wrong. Ada was playing well on Nuke, so he was just able to get the trades consistently alongside his team. We saw the entire time, you know, JKS, he walks in, he dies, that's okay. Ada comes in, gets the 1-for-1 trade. I would like to see the statistics on how many times he's gone 1-for-1, because to me, that is Ada's biggest, I guess, ability. Is that his ability to get the trades and his game sense are his 2 most outstanding features we're on scene when he's played this entire time in the Pro League.
Yeah, he's been doing really well. It's great to see from a stand-in, especially because, as we discussed earlier, he is the first non-OCE player that we've had in that Renegades lineup. So to see him able to come and fit in the way he did, it's encouraging, because I, like a lot of Australians, had a few misgivings when the Renegades said, all right, we're going international, we're bringing in a Swedish sub. It was a bit of, there was some nationalism in there, but it was also a bit of, this has been a core Australian lineup for so long, and not this time. But Ada has fit in well. As you said, he's done really well on the trade fragging we saw on Cobblestone earlier. He was doing really well on the CT side, able to play his positioning really well to get the 2-for-1 trades for himself, be able to dance around, take one-on-ones very efficiently. He's been a good fit for their lineup so far. Coming on the T side of Nuke, things might be a little bit different. It's hard to jump in at such a late stage, and Uber as well will have questions asked of him if he can fit in. But at the end of the day, it's only 2 rounds that Renegades need.
Well, unfortunately, we still have to wait. Looks like we still have match medic issues. So, unfortunately, we're going to a short ad break, but we should be back for the continuation of Liquid versus Renegades.
important to be part of the Pro League because it's sort of the premier league for all the North American pro teams, and also it gives you the opportunity to make the LAN finals and play against some of EU's best as well.
You know, with the sponsor Mountain Dew, can be really good for up-and-coming players. It feels amazing to have this opportunity, and I never take it for granted, that's for sure.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Counter-Strike is sharing incredible moments with us and will return to a memorable place. Get your tickets now at proleague.com/Dallas.
Hey Future Pros, Train is the game and we have a slick smoke to cover CT connector. This smoke is great for pushing that pesky AWP off position, and coupled with 1 or 2 more smokes you have a great outside execute. To master this, hop up on this dumpster and nestle yourself between these 2 crates. Once done so, aim just to the right of the corner of this building and let the smoke fly. Train ain't easy, but hopefully you can find some success with this top tip.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
Hey Future Pros, we have a flash for you that should aid in pushing through the monster tunnel on overpass. This flash should leave your teammates unaffected while the CTs should be blind as heck. To do this flash, line yourself up over the tip of this bottle. Aim over the wall slightly and to the right and then throw the flash. That's it. This should make the Rush B Don't Stop strat work way more in your favor. You ready? Huh? Hey, boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
I can't understand people watching somebody play a computer game.
It's still not a sport.
It shouldn't be on a sports network.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ESL One Code! Two headshots in a row. Phoenix about to bring it back now. All on Nico. Trying to see if they can get the defuse and Nico. Oh no, Phoenix! Has to keep Virtus Pro alive. Taco once closer. AW. He's looking for a look. He's gonna get a hit by headshot again. Oh my god.
You like Nuke? No? Well, here's a common warehouse smoke for you anyway. The lineups for this are nice and easy. It's fairly common AWPers should play from this spot, and this smoke should push them away and force them to relocate. Position yourself over this corner and aim slightly above the metal fixture, and then toss the smoke. Easy, now you removed one of the 45 different angles that CTs can kill you from. You like Nuke? No? Well, here's a common warehouse smoke for you anyway. The lineups for this are nice and easy. It's fairly common AWPers should play from this spot, and this smoke should push them away and force them to relocate. Position yourself over this corner and aim slightly above the metal fixture, and then toss the smoke. Easy, now you removed one of the 45 different angles that CTs can kill you from.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the ESL Pro League. Still waiting on the commencement of Liquid versus Renegades. 14-13 is the scoreline in the favor of Renegades. It's been a week, but well, more than a week actually, but looking forward to it still. I'm still hyped up.
Oh, of
I
course.
think, Tim, maybe not as much. You weren't there. You weren't in the trenches with us.
I didn't in the trenches. I didn't experience
in the battlefield.
it in the battlefield.
On the battlefield.
It's a rough life as a caster. Definitely
I
really
wouldn't say
involved.
it's not really a rough life as a caster.
No, it's not bad. It's pretty chilled out, actually.
That's a very bad analogy, I think, if we say that being a caster is a rough life. But
You're the one who went with the Battlefields thing, man. I was just playing along.
How does Battlefield go towards rough life as caster? So
You're the one who was saying I wasn't here in the trenches.
Well, because we were here doing the groundwork. We were here.
Oh,
Where were you? Where were you when
recovering
Liquid...
from casting the rest of the week?
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was.
No, you weren't.
Probably.
You just couldn't make it that day.
Yeah, that's probably also true.
Well, regardless, Renegades are going to be up 14-13. They did take their force by. Should be forcing Liquid on towards the anti-eco. But after a week and a half, it's been a few changes. You know, we know that Pimp has left Liquid. Looks like he still is filling in for Liquid. On the side of Renegades, it has been Yam that has left, and Uber. We were talking about Uber earlier on, how he's done his job filling in alongside Adder. They've been doing an admirable job filling in and just doing the legwork, really. Adder now stepping it up, coming in towards either the 5th or 6th week he's been playing for Renegades.
Yeah, and he's been filling it really well for them. We've talked about to death how well he's done with them, but it is good to see that this Renegades roster can still be successful with 2 standards. Normally a team that has to have that many substitute non-core players coming in, gonna struggle a bit, but Renegades, they're able to perform.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to take the 2-0 against NRG last week, so that was definitely a big, or this week, should I say, the last match, not last week.
Last match, yeah, no.
Last match,
Within the
and
last
that's
hour.
a big pickup. That was a huge pickup because now that boosts them up towards, I believe it is 8 and 6 in the standings.
Yeah, so NRG were 9-3, Renegades were 5 and 6, I believe. So they'll be 7 and 6 at the moment, looking to take this one to get to 8 and 6. But they've played really well after going down 0 and 6 to bring it back this far. They've done well to push themselves further up in the standings. And NRG, they were in 4th place. I don't think they will be after this. They'll still be close.
They should still be 4th position. We'll have to take a look at the updated score.
5, yeah, no.
Around 4th or 5. Still comfortable, but after dropping a couple of victories, they do need to be cautious because they still want to make it towards the finals in Dallas. And, well, if they keep on dropping rounds, keep on dropping victories, who knows, they may fall out of the top. And Renegades, we would have counted them out very early on in the season. We would have gone, hey, Renegades down at the bottom, not looking particularly good, losing against, say, for example, Luminosity. But now coming back with vengeance, with a force to be reckoned with, now slowly starting to climb up the ladder.
Yeah, which is what we want to see from them, of course, not only as Australians, but just as esports fans in general. The more teams we have competitive, the better it is. We always want to see all these teams stepping up because, of course, you know, last season we look at Cloud9, they went, I believe it was flawlessly through the group stage. They might have dropped one map to SK at one point, but yeah, I think they went 24-1 out of 25 games. So they played incredibly well, but it's always exciting to see the top teams all fighting amongst each other. It's not just one team coming out on top, thrashing everybody. As cool as it is to have one dominant team, I would contrast, for example, what we have at the moment, where there is sort of the top 3 or 4 teams in the world can all win a big event on any given time, depending on who shows up. If we go back to, say, 2015, we've got the Fnatic era. If we go at 2016, there's only 2 majors rather than 3, but that would arguably be the time of SK. Right now, Astralis are #1 team in the world statistically, I believe, but they can still be challenged by SK, by Virtus Pro. There's a lot more teams in the mix, and it's a very competitive time in Counter-Strike right now, and that's something that I really like.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting times, even in the Pro League as well, where you have the top teams, SK versus Optic. We saw Optic take the 1-1 on their 2 best of 1s. I think they took the victory on Train, so it's not... Sure, we talk about how LAN is the true test, the true environment, the true experience, but to take even a map off a dominant SK Gaming, that is an achievement and a half. From Optic, who have been struggling, have brought in Jason R as a fill-in as well as a temporary IGL. So let's see how that goes off. I know Jason R has been floating around in the scene for a bit, so looking to find a home to stay potentially.
Yeah, possibly. Well, I mean, this is Optic's 3rd temporary 5th now, of course. They originally had Hiko, there's a H in there, standing in. I believe that was for New York, as well as they had Freakazoid for a couple games. I think it was only 2, but they've had him. Now moving to Jason R. Optic just trying out new players, trying to find a fifth that fits. Jason R, he did all right standing in for them, of course, early days. Only played a few games, but he could be the answer they're looking for. There's a lot of teams actually in a bit of a state of flux at the moment, trying to find the new answer to their roster or the completion of their roster, having lost a few players. So, bit of a weird state in the Pro League at the moment with all these roster changes going on, but the majority of teams seem to be adapting pretty okay.
Roster changes are always an odd thing towards me. I mean, just talking in terms of Renegades, where I felt like they had a roster change more because of personal matters, where Yam said it wasn't because he didn't want to play the game anymore. It was just something personal happened. He had to come back to Australia. Whereas it felt to me with Yam, Renegades were on the up and up. About a week before his departure, we're going, look, Renegades looking great. This is maybe at a short temporary fill-in, talks about Nexa coming in towards the team and filling in as well, or being their new permanent fifth. It was looking on the up and up, and all of a sudden a roster change was made out of more personal necessities, whereas the other ones just more feel like, okay, we're making roster changes because we're not seeing the success immediately. Whereas they're not looking towards, all right, let's just stay together as 5 and grind out the hours. Look towards an SK Gaming, for example, where they stayed as that core 5 for how long? Only making a change when it was absolutely necessary.
Look at Virtus Pro. If you really want to go for that example, they're a team who have been both very dominant and a team who have almost fallen out of Pro League, almost getting relegated. So
I remember that.
Yeah, that was an interesting time, but there's definitely advantages for playing as a core 5. To be fair, in the case of Optic, it wasn't their choice to make a roster change. I believe that was Stanislaw going over to Liquid of his own volition. So some roster changes, of course, they're not just a matter of we're making a change because of other differences, but they still happen, no matter why they happen, and it's just the job of teams to try and adapt.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, more bad news. Match Medic hasn't worked again, so we're going to still try and resolve the issue. If you're still looking to stay tuned for the Liquid versus Renegades matchup, just stay tuned. We'll be back soon afterwards.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
Hey Future Pros, we have a flash for you that should aid in pushing through the monster tunnel on Overpass. This flash should leave your teammates unaffected while the CTs should be blind as heck. To do this flash, line yourself up over the tip of this bottle. Aim over the wall slightly and to the right and then throw the flash. That's it. This should make the Rush B Don't Stop strat work way more in your favor. ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
I can't understand people watching somebody play a computer game.
It's still not a sport.
It shouldn't be on a sports network.
But I don't know if athlete is the right word.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ESL One Code! Two headshots in a row. Phoenix about to bring it back now. All on Nico. Trying to see if they can get the defuse and Nico. Oh no, Phoenix! Has to keep Virtus Pro alive. Taco once closer. AW. He's looking for a look. He's gonna get a hit by headshot again. Oh my god.
You like Nuke? No? Well, here's a common warehouse smoke for you anyway. The lineups for this are nice and easy. It's fairly common AWPers should play from this spot, and this smoke should push them away and force them to relocate. Position yourself over this corner and aim slightly above the metal fixture, and then toss the smoke. Easy. Now you removed one of the 45 different angles that CTs can kill you from.
Hey guys, and welcome back, and we are back in towards the match.
We made it.
We made it.
Team.
We did it. The scoreline, well, it's not reflected on the top, but it is 14 towards the Renegades, 13 for Liquid. Liquid will be forcing up. And Renegades, the only difference is they are using Uber instead of Gam, who was here for the previous match.
JKS will be in the AWP again.
The new AWPer for the side of Renegades. It looks like Renegades going to be moving their way towards ramp. Stanislaw playing very patiently. He's going to be dinked out, but JKS still with the AWP from Squeaky, able to take down Nitro. Very quick bust on towards the B site. No members there to shut it down, except for Elige, who's made his way towards control. But he's smoked off and trying to find the shot on towards the still through the door. It's not going to work out. Smoke coverage too good from Renegades, and they're looking to bring it towards match point. Oh, it's Liquid. They have two M4s to work with, a single kit, or two kits on JDM and Elige. JDM just waiting towards decontamination, waiting for the rest of his teammates to gather up and push on towards the site together, but still has made his way towards Toxic. And Azza just holding towards ramp. JDM's going to be a first fatality, but Stan was not expecting Stanislaw to be at the same position. He's going to smoke going onto the bomb.
He's Got a kit, he's on it, he's touching it, he's ready to go for the spray. No! Renegades, they can't stop this. Defuse is going to come through. Stanislaw, the only player alive, will grab it, even it back up at 14-14. Despite a 4K from JKS, it's not going to be enough. It looks so good for Renegades.
And they drop the ball on 14-all as we go to another pause. So this game is really the game that keeps on giving. It's just so much tension. You think it's been a week and a half. You think it's not heated. And Renegades are looking good. And all of a sudden, Liquid, Ninja defuse, brings it straight back in.
Technically a smoke diffuse, not a Ninja, because I knew he was on it. But it's a technicality I will fight until my dying day, and no one's going to bother actually ever listening to the difference. But that's all right. Either way, 14-14, this game. It's only going to be 5 rounds for us, potentially, but it's going to 30 in the context of the overall game. It's going down to the wire. We could even go to overtime between these two teams, which would be pretty tense. But right now, Renegades did get away from that one with 2 guns kept up, I believe. So their buy shouldn't be too bad. Liquid, they make the force work out.
They have to force up because even though they win the round, they force into the previous round. No one survived. JKS killed all of them.
There we go. Yeah, he did too. So the round is lost, but so are all of Liquid's guns.
So it's not over yet for Liquid. They did the hard work, and that's probably why they called it the tactical pause. They're discussing what are we going to do with our limited utility and weapons? Do we go for the M4? I don't think anyone can actually even afford M4 with armor. They get 3.5k for defusing the bomb. Yep, just over 3.5k. They get 3,250 for elimination. So 3.5 for defusing the bomb.
Look at you go with your money.
It's maths.
Knowledge.
Maths is something that I love and enjoy. So M4, unlikely. It has to be all UMPs. Maybe from us on the side of someone.
UMP there already.
They can't afford M4s. It's if they've invested all their money. The M4 player either has just bare body armor and no utility, and they have it Stanislaw barely as alongside a Leech. They can just barely afford body armor as well as the M4s, whereas the rest of them are Pimp also as well. So maybe it's not as bad as I initially thought, but still no smoke grenades and no flashbangs. It's going to be very painful in the retake this time around. Only JDM with a kit, but all they need is a single kit to make the problems work out as Azza going to be the last man in towards Secret, but it's pretty much 4 members already down. Unders and challenging a Liege. He gets the 1-for-1. Stanislaw now dropping towards Megaton. Smokes going on towards the bomb site to make sure they can access it safely. Stanislaw going to be spotted out and mollied out. Trying to cross towards the yellow side, but a flashbang lands at his feet. Nothing he can do. There is still a member lurking. That's going to be JKS. We've seen how dangerous he can be, but he needs to get a move on. Last round, he took too long, and Azza goes 1-for-1, but each 1-for-1 favors Liquid as opposed towards Renegades, and JDM stepping it up now. JKS needs to get a move on.
Needs to get in there quickly to go down and help out Uber, but JKS, here he comes. Spots out JDM. Easy kill for him. Spots the player dropping in. Will fall back. Bomb still planted for him. Door going to be shut in his face. They're playing with it. Goes for the wallbang. Misses it. They're not on the bomb yet. Now they are. Kills the defuse. And JKS can fall back. And Uber takes down Pimp. 15 points for Renegades. Liquid need to bring this one back to get overtime. And it's going to be not even a force buy. It's going to be pistols and armor at best. Unless they drop like the UMP off JDM.
This game has had a lot of anti-eco swinging both ways. It's not over yet for Liquid, but the issue still relies on that rampant out of control, and Liquid with no HEs, no Molotovs, no incendiary grenades. It's a hard task to ask, and Stanislaw is going to be pressure alongside with the Liege. The Liege is just going to drop straight down. Lobby control coming out from Renegades, but pressure towards ramp should commence shortly. Just leaving out is completely open. JKS just watching the pixel line through Annex. And as soon as the smoke fades, no other defenses left for Liquid except for firepower. Just 2 smoke grenades on Nitro and a Leech, kit on JDM and a UMP. Let's rely on 5.7s and P250s. And the single CZ. It's a good gun, but
maybe not this good.
Not as good as having a few M4s and maybe even some more UMPs, just reinforcing the firepower and Renegades. Actually stacking back up for an upper site take.
Got to be so careful here. They don't want to get overrun by these pistols. This round is everything for them. They cannot afford to drop this, but actually they're going to go out as going to be the smart choice, as it's only pistols out here. If they play this one well, which they will, the utility is out. They are now moving.
Look at Elish. He's in.
Is the linchpin here. If they can take down Elish without losing a player, they'll be fine. But he's going to go get 1 headshot. Only a 1-for-1, though. That's good. If he got 2 there, would have been a problem. But now the rest of the pistols moving in towards Secret. The crossfire is set from Stanislaw. He's going to find a kill as well. Not like this Renegade. He needs to start finding these shots. Stanislaw tapping away. Won't find anything else. JKS takes down Nitro. JDM in a great position, waiting for these guys to come out onto the lower bomb site with 25 seconds left. Pimp is chasing after JKS, who will be able to run away and nails the shot! JKS knows the JDM. That was a JDM-esque shot. JKS obliterating Pimp. Now, speaking of JDM, he's got to try and find himself a 1-on-3. Bomb going down. He's in the vent. He's ready, and Azza will close it. 16-14 for the Renegades. A game that stretched over multiple weeks, but they get the win across the line in the end.
I want to see that JKS shot. That was ridiculous,
man.
where he just flies up the ladder and goes,
I'm ready for you, bruh.
I'm going to fly down and just demolish your head with the orb.
Domed him. Goodbye.
With one of the most inaccurate weapons, just lands just with the confidence, knowing that on a
Easy.
3-on-2, if he gave up his life, it would have been a completely different situation. But in the end, Renegades able to clutch it out from 14-13 to 16-14. Did lose in that defuse, but it just felt like Renegades were in the driver's seat, Liquid unable to come back.
Which was unfortunate. Liquid, they made it close. They got that sneaky smoke diffuse off in the first round, but after that, the force buys were not going to be enough. And Renegades get themselves effectively a 3-0 for the night, and that will push them to 8-6.
Yeah, and that's going to boost up their leaderboard standings as well, which is obviously coming into matchday number 17. You're hitting past the halfway point in the league. This is where you want to accelerate and ramp up your scoreboards towards, you know, the top of the league, towards the finals. That's where the dream is for all the teams. Some of the teams mathematically still could potentially make it, but it's going to be a tough ask.
It is. So, of course, those grand finals will be, or the land finals, I should say, will be held in Dallas. That's where all these teams want to go, play a big LAN in a nice city, but that's the dream. There's a lot of fighting to get there, though.
Let's take a look at the schedule of today. We did have Renegades pretty much on the B stream, which is always it's a great pleasure for us, from Australians, watching Australians, as well as, you know, Uber and Ada, who now, I guess, are honorary Australians.
Yeah.
Renegades taking 3-0. Cobble started off rough, and Cobble were able to take it on their own CT side, and they just rolled it forward towards Mirage. It didn't feel close to Mirage, and then Nuke, well, continuation 14-13, able to take that victory to complete their 2-0 over Liquid over 2 weeks. On the mainstream, looks like Complexity did manage to take 16-10 on Cobble against Selfless, and well, going on to the final map between the two, probably Selfless need to get a couple of points to get off the bottom of the scoreboard, but Complexity, a couple more, make sure that they are safe from relegation. Earlier on, Rush. First map close, second map not so close.
Second map not at all. Second map was almost a complete shutout. Pretty much as perfect as it gets. Not a 16-0, but a 16-1, so close enough. But that's going to pretty much be it for us tonight. There is still a game left on the mainstream, but we've had 2 and a little bit games from Renegades. They get the wins in all of them. That's what we wanted to see.
Yeah, taking a look at the next match day schedule. It's going to be match day number 18. You're going to see us once again on the mainstream. What a match. SK Gaming versus Renegades. 4 weeks ago, I would have said easy SK Gaming. Now, not so sure. Sure, Renegades still have a stand-in. This should be SK's favor, but it's going to be a bit more tensely fought. As well as NRG versus Luminosity. Another critical matchup to see who's going to jump up on the leaderboards. On our side, Misfits versus Optic Gaming. This is going to be a blockbuster, in Cloud9 versus CLG. So for the Australian fans, you've still got Ricky on CLG, but some insane matches coming up in match day number 18. This is probably the match day where I would say it's a non-miss. Tune into both streams because every single match counts, and every single match is going to be of insane quality.
Exactly. The further we get into the ESL, North American, or just the Pro League in general, but the North American, because that's what we're looking at, the further you get, the more important every single match becomes to be able to push yourselves higher in the standings and get yourselves closer to those LAN finals, because not everyone goes through to those. You need to be towards the top of the leaderboard to actually make it through. So the further in we get, the more important every single match becomes. And of course, SK, they're pretty comfortable on the top of the scoreboard, but for every single other team, they need these wins to push themselves up just that little bit higher.
Well, we're talking about match day number 18 being heated. Stay tuned. We're going to be back tomorrow evening from 5 p.m. PST. Stay tuned. Or so, should I say, take a break and then come back and enjoy.